And welcome back to another Quarantini Fantastarini low energy videos. I am, as always, come Friday now, because we have made it into a bad habit, joined by Krendar.
Hello. I am the bad habit.
Yeah. Um, we, of course, are playing this fantastic game that I will come back to probably for years and years to come, because hell, I come back to its far crappier prequel. So I'll be playing this game for ages. And I woke up with a hell of a cough, so in this day and age, that probably does mean I've only got a short amount of time to live. So do be aware that
It was nice knowing you, buddy.
I died as I lived, which is to say, very depressed. That's not a joke. That's just showing how pathetic my life is. I'm too depressed to make jokes. Oh, well, at least I've got some Lemsip here, which is laced with a drug, because that's what Lemsip is. You guys have Lemsip there, or some equivalent?
Never heard of it.
They put paracetamol into it, the stuff I use normally for hangover cure, but it's like a hot lemony drink. You can get blackcurrant ones as well, and it's great for like a chesty cough. So it's a mild drug, and it's a zesty lemony blast.
Reminds me of Neocitrin that we got.
Oh yeah.
But that's for colds though.
Yeah, I mean you can use this for colds too. It helps with a chesty cough, and that's why I'm that's why I've got it. Um, Actually, I think I know what the problem is with me. I ended up getting as a lot of you know, I ended up getting a cough on the trip, and I think it did a number on my lungs. Got a little bit of like damage to them. Nothing that like some antibiotics wouldn't fix, but I don't want to go to a doctor's because then I probably will get corona in the bloody waiting room.
Oh yeah, that's a big risk.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna let these heal up naturally, or until the ship blows over.
I'm sure that's 90% of the people going to doctor these days are, oh my god, do I have the corona?
Yeah, it's almost like a non-money reason why Americans don't go to doctors, because they're like, oh, hospitals are just disease ridden and you'll die there. Uh,
Some of them are like that.
Absolutely.
I
when
mean,
I,
it's funny because when I said that, I meant some Americans are like that, but then I realized that yes, some hospitals are like that as well.
Rosé Black, hey, maple syrup,
Hey,
whiskey, all cure. I'm down for that. I've
give
I've I've had something
give me
similar
back
to that
my
before.
sniper.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got. I got Cyrus. No one wants Cyrus. Give me back my baby Tarky Tark with his eggy head. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? There we are. There we are. There. That makes life better.
Yes, hello, Rose Black, Rose Black,
Rosé.
whatever we're going with
I
that.
once asked him, is it rosé or is it just rose? I always call it rose, but sometimes I put the rosé because I see the little thing. It's like with J Dark A, low energy.
The dark A thing is so weird to me.
I've never asked him, is that actually like just something he adds, or is that actually his second name? I've known him for years, and I've not asked him that.
Also, I like how you mentioned that you asked Rose which way it's pronounced, but you never actually said what the answer was, or did you not get an
I
answer?
didn't get an answer, or if he did, I don't remember it. I mean, if you've seen Wasted Wednesday, you see how much my level of drinkitude. I'm surprised I remember how to breathe some days.
I know, right?
Speaking of, I want to quickly address the Wasted Wednesday stream. Uh, I got redonkulously drunk. So if I said anything at any given time that might piss someone off and you want to go and scroll through it just to be double sure, I don't remember about half of the things. By the time Jay left, I could barely keep my eyes open. So I did the first thing in the morning. I went on Discord, went to him and said, "Hey man, I am so sorry if I said anything." He said there was nothing to worry about. I didn't say or do anything weird. But he might just be being nice. uh,
Or it's just that it was the entertaining sort of weird,
I hope so, because that's
which I
what's
find to be most likely, to be honest with you.
yeah. But I was streaming for nearly 8 hours, and at the end of it, I actually scrolled right to the end. I didn't even do a goodbye. I just go quiet, and then the stream ends. And if I remember right, I just started to slam the off button on my computer with my open palm.
By the way, I love that Rose Black answered and said that
The
there was
infamous
the
on
emphasis on the
E.
on the
So it is
E.
Rose.
But
Oh.
here's the best part. When he typed it out, he said the emphasis on the E, but the
It,
accent is in the opposite direction than it is in the name.
oh damn! So isn't that then instead of wouldn't it then be Rosie Black? isn't that how the isn't that how the accent goes?
I just like how the explanation is the opposite accent to the actual name.
Um, and then maybe he should put down like you say it as it sounds. Oh, thanks, buddy. That helps. Um, all right, so let's get to this. We should start by defending the Foundry, I think, because the
Yeah, I while we were talking, I looked around at all the missions and all the planets, and that's
yeah,
the only one with a timer on it.
that's right. And we've only got one deployment. This
So
is
yes,
now with
nice.
the Tyranids invading. We have to now start paying attention to the days,
Yes.
uh, which shouldn't be too hard.
I'm not
Uh,
sure if we're there yet, but there will come a point where we can do, I think, 2 missions a day,
yeah.
2 deployments a day.
I
I
think it's
believe
when
that's
you
what said
complete
the
one of the
requirement
planets.
on
I
it.
don't know which planet it is. I know it's not Meridian. It probably then would be Typhon. Anyway, let's.
By the
Uh
way, it's all right, Rose Black. We were just teasing about the
of course,
the accent.
Rose and I know each other. He knows. He knows.
Yeah, Rose's good people.
He's a hell. He's a mod. I was about to say I don't give mods away to everyone, but I used to. I used to just
You're not Shabitsky.
shove it. Oh, does he do that? Does he like throw out mod
He
wrenches to everyone?
he gives mod people. He gives on his channel. He gives mod powers to people who donate money to him.
Oh wow! So there must
So
be
like
like half the
at any given
people.
time, at any given time during his stream, half of his viewers are mods.
Um. Oh, before we should go, let's just see real quick if what we've already got rid of all the weapons. Okay, let's go and do this. We get the dreadnought armor, but we haven't gotten our dreadnought yet, so we can sell that yet. Um,
Yeah.
I know you're not the fan of the dreadnought, so I'll take responsibility for him because trust
Hey,
me,
if you wanna,
he could be a good he could be a good power hitter, even though he's a
if you
little
feel like
tight.
deploying
But
him on a mission, then he can be your burden. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I can even give you. Oh no, I'm not giving you
He is
targets. But
useful in ways.
yeah, hordes
I just
with
find
the
that he's
chain
too
gun. It's
babysitting,
just fantastic.
which is
Um,
ironic that the big tanky guy would need babysitting more than everybody else. But
I know he's just a big fuck.
it's
Look at
fact.
Target saying "fuck me" on him. Um. Okay,
All right, for this
let's see.
mission,
Where are they coming? All right, I know there's one coming here, so I'm putting the turret down there.
this is another potential where if we got really sneaky, we could
Take
potentially
the.
take over the other thing.
Yeah, maybe
Oh, it begins.
it begins early. You got a turret, don't you?
I got 3 personal turrets and 1 mission turret.
Well, I already deployed mine at the far end, which might be useful later.
Yeah.
Let's deal with this horde, and then yeah, spam them all. Spam your turrets, and then we'll make the
All right.
we'll make our little epic
Turrets all out. I'll
quest.
put some mines
Also,
down.
hello, Mr. Grenade. Boom. Daka daka daka. Wow wow wow. So
Man, the
Krendar,
power
how
of the wrench is almost overwhelming.
it
Watch
is,
it
isn't
slow
it?
people down with its power.
Cyrus, would you stop fucking trying to get up close and personal with people? You're a sniper.
By the way, what you said earlier about nearly passing out on that stream and not knowing what you're saying because you were so drunk,
Mm.
um, reminds me of actually last night I had, Luca from Girly's show, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, he was co-commentating on a playthrough I was doing recently,
Mm.
and he fell asleep halfway through last night's stream.
How the hell did he manage
So
that?
he had a really tiring work day.
Oh shit. Well, then maybe he shouldn't have
So,
streamed. Like if he was that exhausted.
I mean, he didn't tell me, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I suppose.
I think he was figuring maybe he could pull it off, but it didn't work out.
Speaking of pulling it
So,
off, do you want to see if do
oh my,
you want me to go and do it, or is there just too many to take the chance?
I don't know. Right
It
now, maybe too many, but maybe after this.
maybe.
I think the next wave is going to come from the north, which is where all our turrets and landmines are. So maybe we
Oh,
can.
there goes Cyrus,
Oh shit!
as is ancient tradition.
Yeah, wasn't looking
Get him
at.
inside the get him inside, get him or Avitus inside the
Ah shit.
shit indeed. Carcass, you gotta draw him away. Meanwhile, I'll throw the one thing we're not doing good Imperial Guard tactics. And before you say it, no, not dying in massive numbers. We're not killing off the big ones. We got to kill off the big ones. There, see that if we do that a little bit more tactically,
I.
it's kind of like making
There
love
we
to a
go.
woman. You got to work from the top, not the bottom.
But yeah, so it was funny. I'm sitting here fighting the last boss with some soft snoring in the background of the call.
If you not try to wake him up or something,
You can't. Gurley has tried so many times. Like he's fallen asleep a couple times, like 2 or 3 times during the past
is
few
that his
calls.
thing? He goes to sleep.
He doesn't always, but once in a while. Once in a while, it's becoming his thing.
We all need a thing. You got the
Uh,
hats. I'm the truck dude. We
yeah.
all have
So
our
Gurley
thing.
will always tease him about it and try to be like, he's like, she's like, Luca, you're gonna be late for school, honey.
You start like quoting like Chrono Trigger or something like that. Luca, wake up.
Yeah.
The festival only comes once a year.
Exactly. It never works though. The man sleeps like a log.
Nice. I'm kind of jealous of that. I used to sleep like a log, and now I don't know. I think when my lack of B12 became prominent, which there was someone when I was remember when
Shall we try this?
yeah, it looks like now we got a chance. Um, you're not going to leave anyone to defend them.
Well, we're taking a risk, you know.
Yeah, I suppose.
Actually, I
Uh,
guess I can leave.
well, this is the final assault too,
Almost Cyrus.
so yeah. I'll leave Honey Tits.
I'll bring Evitus with you, kick, because you might need some help. I don't know. We'll see.
I have a feeling we're just going to get bogged down, but hell, Dead Nids is more XP, so
Oh shit.
there's a current
We
effects.
might want to just all pull back.
Yeah,
After all, maybe we can't pull this off right now.
no, I have a feeling we're going to come back to this map anyway, so
I think you're right, actually.
yeah, because I think near the end, just before we fight the the hive spires, we
It's
actually
fucking
have
hard
to
effects. No wonder.
go back. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like that was kind of like the final nail in our little plans coffin. Look at all the XP we're getting. So bad. Kill off the horde before we go for the Carnifex. They're like all good bosses. They're not really that bad. They're not really all that strong. It's just their fucking minions they bring with them.
It's about the fact that they're tanking for their ads. That's the danger. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Come on, smashy, smashy. There we go. God, I love the power of them. Oh shit!
It's all right. It's only
No,
one.
I know, but still.
Don't we start with 4? So we already lost one before that anyway.
No, we have three.
Well, had.
Yeah. Let's see. Power of the wrench is almost overwhelming. I want to strike people down with its power. They say at war everyone loses. However, one that loses into more resources, land makes it way well. Absolutely. Though not always. Come on, give us a day. Give us an extra day. Give us an extra day. Our foundries help too for that. One
Well,
extra
let's be
day.
honest.
Oh,
Let's
oh,
be
oh,
honest.
oh, oh! So close.
The
So
people
close.
who the people who are losing in the war aren't the people who are the people who fight the war are not the people gaining the land and resources. It's their bosses that
There is only
that
one
they
exception
get
for
that.
that, and it is a Tom Green it's a Tom Green joke. It is of course always the Mongols. The Mongols got all that land.
Mongolians. Goddamn Mongolians.
Get off my shitty wall! I love the little nod to Age of Empires and that the way they're knocking down the wall with their swords and it uses the same sound effects. Ding
Yeah.
ding 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 ding.
He probably just played some Age of Empires and just put the microphone up to the speakers.
They're probably like, hey, when I was in college, I used to play Age of Empires like crazy, and there was a whole campaign about the Mongols. One of the
They probably
writers.
this episode was brought to you by Age of Empires.
It was brought by early member berries. Hey, remember Age of Empires? I
I remember. I've
remember.
never actually seen that episode, but
There's a
I
few.
did
There's
see
a
the
few
video game.
member berries in that. Wow, everyone got leveled up for that one. Um. Okay, so we can get rid of the flamers as well, because like we always say, there's no point. And a shotgun, I'm guessing, because Cyrus.
Let's see. Gonna get 9 more level ups, eh?
And the two Terminator. So we got one artifact power armor and a relic scout armor. So if you want to give that to Cyrus, if not, I'll sell it. And as for the artifact power armor, artifice, well, I don't know. Bloop bloop.
Let me check with Cyrus here. If I want to give him what?
This scout armor is a better
Oh,
horse.
he needs another level up first.
It always, it's always the case, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And he's nowhere close to it, so we're not donating his way into it. There's a melee damage scrap of paper there for you.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, purity. Yeah, but I've got the Iron Halo, and that could be like my get out of death free card. So I'm not going to get rid of it. What about Tarkus though? 31 health, 20 energy, 10 to melee damage.
He's not gonna be
Doesn't
well. He's gonna
really.
be melee sometimes, but I don't know. They
Yeah, in fact, if anything, Cyrus should be having that, but
you
you'd
can
have
also
to
have
level up.
Thaddeus, I guess.
Um,
I don't know
you
if I'll
can't.
bring
No,
him
you
into
can't.
it,
Yeah,
but
I need to. I need to level up him by 4,
all right.
energy or will
I'll just
rather.
leave it there then, I guess.
I guess we'll sell it then.
I guess this artificer power armor is junk though.
Boop, boop, boop. 30, 51, 31, 26, 28. Then your dudes, 26. Yeah, yeah, that's junk. Ooh, generic shit.
Mm-hmm. Get that vendor trash out of here.
Mm. Oh, I finally got to see that Spider-Man, what was it, Far From Home movie?
Oh yeah, yeah. I enjoyed that.
I like the look of Mysterio. I thought I've always loved him as like a kid in the old '90s cartoons. They always loved his design. I'm not quite like say Jim Sterling level where I'm literally eating out figurines of him. But,
Not
uh,
yet, anyway.
yeah, give him time. But yeah, it
Oh, I meant
was.
you.
Uh, uh,
You're not there yet. Give you time.
yeah, it's a slow burn. Okay, all right,
Shall we do the optional one then, or
yeah. Uh,
because the other planets don't seem urgent right now yet?
so Death Whisper.
Yeah.
Commander, my collar stops me from looking in any direction but forward. It's a nightmare.
Also, Rose, yes, Good Friday is creepily when somebody was being horribly sacrificed, but let's not forget this is also the same religion that engages in cannibalistic ritual eating of their god.
Hell, that was shit that the Romans, the early Romans, used to do to discredit Christians. They said it was literal cannibalistic references.
But it is, they're right.
Absolutely.
Because I mean,
This is my blood.
it's
This is
actually
my
a
blood.
ritualistic fake, but they say that it's the real blood and
Yeah, I mean,
bone.
I remember I was raised Catholic. I did my communion confirmation. I learned all this stuff, the trans. transconfiguration or something like that. It's called, or transubstantiation.
Yeah, that's the one.
Where it you bait, but the act itself transforms the items into something more. It's basically
Yeah.
bullshit, but and the priests think that so too. They're just going through the motions. Everyone in the Catholic Church is going through the motions. You're doing it for the community sense of being. At least other religions, when you whip yourself up to a frenzy, like those African preachers, people fall to the ground and start having seizures. At least there's more of a show there.
Yeah.
Um, Victory reduces infestation by 2. If I'm right, this is a really cool sort of Alien versus Predator versus Colonial Marines cutscene opening.
I think I
That's
know
it.
one of them has that anyway.
Yeah, where he's in the jungle and it's like his head camera. I think this is it. We'll see. Shit like this just makes me want to see more Warhammer, like first-person shooters or like TV shows.
What I want to see now is I want to see somebody do a parody
Here
music
we are.
video of called "On the Planet Meridian." Yeah, this is the one.
I'm not looking at it. It's a little bit more Blair Witch Project.
This is why you don't wander around the jungle in the dark, dummies. Lone Imperial Guardsman versus a Lictor. You are screwed.
But I've got a lasso gun. Uh,
But
I,
yeah, how does that song go? On the something meridian?
um, I don't. I have no
You know
idea.
the song I'm talking about?
No.
Shit. But yeah, I'm thinking of like a 40k parody of it. It's like, on the planet Meridian. On the planet Meridian.
um, I oh I just remembered. This is one of the missions where they have unlimited spawning resources. So we want to start hitting out their bases straight away.
Yeah. Rose wants to know, do you think when they say this represents the body of Christ that it actually hurts Christ when you bite into it?
I think some people believe that like
It would seem
some
like millions of people bite you every
yeah
day.
maybe oh my literal possible almost factual God. Think about this for 5 seconds. Maybe Christ didn't go back to God, but went down to his half brother Satan in hell, and he's in a
I
nightmarish
I
experience
actually read a novel with that in it.
where Christ went to hell instead of heaven.
Well, in the novel's version of things, the idea is that
Damn it, Cyrus.
if oh shit, god damn it, Cyrus, where is he? Where the actual is he?
Oh my God! Look how far away he is.
Where?
Yeah, click on his icon.
What the? How did he get over there? I
What
didn't
the
even click
fuck?
anywhere over there.
Anyway,
You see where you're standing right now? I told him to attack, move to that spot.
wait, what's he says? What's his stance?
I don't know. I never changed it. Whatever the default is.
I think he has to just be set at ranged from here on out, because otherwise he's just going to lower down our end game score,
Yeah.
because he's just going to keep dropping like a fucking fly, no
Lazy
matter how much.
bastard.
Yeah, no matter how much
Anyway,
you
so
heal him up.
this novel we were talking about.
Mm.
The premise in this novel was that, or well, I should say the premise, but part of the premise was that anybody who the only people who got to heaven are the people that the Bible specifically says are in heaven, and everybody else went to hell.
Oh, so there's like maybe 50 people.
No, there's like 3 people or something. Uh,
And I know one of them wasn't even a Christian, was he?
Stance is unranged, by the way. It shows a gun.
Oh, shit.
And yes, Jesus was not one of those people, so he was in hell.
Um,
I think it was like St. John and like one other person, maybe two other people.
I know Peter, of course, he's up in
Yeah.
heaven, but there goes the lictor. He's the big bad. It didn't take us very long, did it? Oh, the spores. The worst fucking things in the world. Saying that, the porn made from those motherfuckers. Oh no, a bunch of spore pods have attacked a bunch of sisters of battle and they've dragged them back to
I've,
their sex cocoon.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Um, but which way? Yeah, we might as well go up this
I
one.
don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wanted to say I was actually looking last night. Once I get this phone sorted, I'm gonna take a. Assuming there's no outstanding bills I need to pay off or anything like that. I want to spend at least one week where I can just spend whatever the fuck I want. So I might get Gladius, and I checked, and the base game itself isn't too bad. But what I was shocked by was all the stuff added onto it doubles the price. Like all the other factions. Like what original factions do you get? Like how many on the base
In
game?
what game? Sorry.
Gladius.
Oh yeah. Well, there's four factions. You start with Imperial Guards, Space Marines, Orcs, and Necrons.
Well,
And then there's three additionals.
yeah, I
Depends on the
saw
price.
Chaos. I saw Tau.
Chaos, Tau, and
T
Tyranids.
yeah, and I think I saw
Tau
Necrons
being the most
too.
recent addition.
Oh yeah, you already said Necrons.
Um,
My bad.
that's
Um,
why I haven't bought any of them yet.
yeah, I'm the sort
What
of
I've done
person
is
though that would be
wish
like,
list
it's
them, and
you
I'm
gotta
waiting
wait
for
till
a
like
sale.
yeah, the summer sale. Um,
Like I might buy them for $5 each, but no more than that.
you got you got his explosive pack. You might as well throw it onto that thing before it spits out something.
Yeah, I suppose so. Now that I've got the missile launcher, I mostly rely on that, but
Yeah, it
this
takes
is a much bigger
forever.
structure than the average, so
Yeah, the demolition pack is fucking OP as all hell.
it's pretty great.
This
I like how they have these little Tesla towers here, little Jacob's ladders.
yeah, it'll, kind of has a sort of Command and Conquer vibe, but if one enemy was like a
Yeah.
mutant alien death race.
Oh, that reminds me of something silly I did in those games. I think it was Red Alert.
Oh, was that the one with the ants? You remember that was like a bonus one in Red Alert One.
Don't
They
remember
had
that.
a joke campaign where a bunch of Russian scientists accidentally create a bunch of ants, and they're like
Oh,
huge giant fire ants about the size
don't
of a
remember
tank.
that, but that sounds cool.
It was. They even had a little
That's very
cutscene with
cool.
it. It was very sort of like the day of the giant ant. Doo doo doo.
That's very retro.
Extreme. Anyway, what was the one you were thinking of then?
There was oh, by the way, let's capture the shrine
I was
before we
about to say the
finish the
exact
mission.
same thing.
Um, just for giggles, on the very first map of the game, since it's first mission's always easy,
Hmm.
I decided to goof around and try something experimental that worked out wonderfully. You know how there's the defensive structures where you get the Tesla tower
Yeah.
as a defensive turret, but it takes a lot of power, right? So I always build like one power plant for every Tesla tower I make.
Hmm.
And you know how you've got the power grid, so all your buildings have to be near each other.
That's right.
But every building you make expands it, right? So I started building a line of towers towards the enemy base. So I'd be like little like Tesla tower power plant, Tesla tower power plant, like in a line towards their base.
God, it.
I ended up destroying their base without building a single military unit.
Nice.
I just defensive towered his base to death.
Kind of like how I sometimes span castles in Age of Empires, and it's just a sea of castles firing endless arrows.
Yeah, yeah. I ended up destroying their ore harvester in the process too, because it got too close to my expanding line of towers.
Well, if it's dumb enough to
Glorious.
if it's dumb enough to drive towards the forest of
Their ore
electric
field
death,
was.
then you know it's only got self to blame.
Their ore field was sort of off to the side, but on the way.
I'd love to play one of the Command and Conquer games. I even liked Command and Conquer 3. Didn't like Command and Conquer 4.
No,
Not like Command and Conquer 4, but I do like 3.
4 was a pile of ass.
It was, let's change it up. Why? Because EA.
I know. Let's take something that everybody loves and take it away, and have it
Not
not be
even
anymore.
Kane's over the top acting can save it.
That guy is an actual immortal, though. Have you noticed?
The way he doesn't age.
Like
He's been doing this since the
experience
90s and he
experience
hasn't aged.
versus game number 4, he looks identical.
He does. And it's not even just that. Like, there's no, like, crow's feet. There's no. He's still buff as he was.
Nothing. Yeah.
I bet if you asked him, he'd blow it off and go, like, oh, I noticed some changes. But yeah, I think he's definitely. I don't know who else I think is immortal. Mike Nelson from Mystery Science Theater. He hasn't aged a day. The only thing that's changed about him is he's got a tan because he lives out in California now. So
Hello, new friend.
we're gonna kill you. Boom, boom, boom.
Rose asks, "Do you want to hear an EA joke? Free content."
They fucked up Max's Westwood and half a trillion other things. Visceral, didn't they also fuck over Visceral as well?
I know somebody did. I don't remember who owned them.
Yeah, well, I think it was.
Mostly
Yeah, yeah,
Obsidian,
because
maybe,
Dead Space 3 and the crafting mechanic that was
or
Hey Ian.
I like
Uh,
Jim Sterling's nickname for them, Omnicronic Arts.
I love every time he talks. Yeah, it devours everything in front of it. He used to also compare them to the Tyranids,
Pretty much,
and
yeah.
I remember that was he had the same problem I did, where he didn't know if it was chitness or chitinous, and he just stops like he starts going on one of his rambles, and he's like, "Is it chitness or chitinous? I always say one, then I hear it as the other."
It's kind of funny actually because I know it's chitinous, but I I always say chitness anyways.
It's kind of like GIF and GIF. Even if the guy who made it says it one way, we all know it's said the other.
Exactly. Because GIF sounds fucking stupid. It sounds like
GIF
French peanut
isn't
butter.
GIF a type of like peanut butter brand in
Uh huh.
America?
Yep. And I refuse to smear my image files with peanut butter. Thank you very much.
Pew, 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 pew. I also looked at Mechanicus as well. I actually might get Mechanicus because that looks like it'd be more value for money. Although Gladius, oh, if the Imperial Guard are a default, oh, I want that.
Yep, they are.
And you know what? I could technically get both.
Oh, here goes Cyrus again.
Cyrus fails. Oh, here we are
Where the
always
hell is
making fun of
Avitus?
Thaddeus, but it's
Why did
Cyrus
Avitus
who's
go
dropping.
down there? Son of a bitch.
I don't even have any healing back, so you're gonna have to.
I
One
don't
of
know what's
us.
going on with my freaking AI over here.
Yeah,
Alright, I'm gonna take a quick trip back. Oh, shit, never mind.
yeah, you're
Once you get
both.
me up, well, I'm gonna take a quick trip back to the reinforcement beacon.
All right.
I gotta keep a closer eye on these guys during a fight. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, you think Avitus would be able to hold shot. I always thought he'd have the most health, but he doesn't really have all that much health. We won't get much of a good score for this one.
No.
On the plus side, I like how this is like an older game where it's whereas you got like the base buildings, so you're blowing them up and it's just making them weaker. One thing I always loved from the original Dawn of War games was every time you took on the strongholds, it was always unique, and they had like their own stories and shit. I really like taking on the Tau because the Tau always have these multi-layered defenses, and as their defenses start to break, you can see they start freaking the fuck out. They don't know like what the hell to do, or like the guard for one of them, where you can actually start like a revolt inside the guard.
Nice.
Um, always hated the Sisters of Battle one because they have the indestructible saint that you have to basically draw her away from her own shrines because she makes everything indestructible.
Been so long since I've played.
That would be Dark Crusade.
Yeah, I had it, but I remember playing as the Sisters of Battle.
Oh yeah, they were fun. They weren't quite as good as Space Marines, but you could spam more units. And when you had like a bunch of squads all equipped with like heavy bolters, fucking hell,
Dude loves me some heavy bolters.
damn right.
Don't I, Mr. Avitus? I'll be right back.
Boom. You
I'm just getting rid of this guy who's trying to sneak up our flank.
do that.
Didn't even buy us dinner first.
Hey, sometimes you're not worth the intake of food.
That's Tyranids. We are in the intake of food.
Oh, absolutely. I just love. I love how old this game is, but if you zoom down close to the character models, there's so much detail.
Oh yeah, Bill, your friend Bill makes a good point. Remember when EA made Command and Conquer into a free-to-play mobile game? Barf.
Yeah, I do know that. Hey, Bill.
I
Um,
remember them making a big deal about that during whatever conference they revealed it at, and
that's right.
it looked like a pile of shite.
And you could see it. You could actually see people. Like it cuts to like people in the audience, and they just do not look impressed.
Yeah, as they shouldn't be.
Of course, it's nothing on the Diablo thing. Hey, don't you guys have phones? Boo!
I know, right?
I know those guys on stage had a job to do. It wasn't their fault, but at the exact same time, they could have handled it with a little less pretentious bullshit.
Uh huh. I mean, I know they were trying to lighten the mood, but still, that was the wrong way to do it.
Yeah, they sounded condescending as fuck. Especially for a franchise like Diablo, which has some fucking extreme fans. Ooh, speaking of, Diablo 1 is half price on GOG right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was actually thinking of getting it, but I'm actually going to be a good boy and wait until this phone's sorted out, and I'm going to treat myself to something much bigger than that. I could even still get it, because even at full price, it's not too bad.
nice. I played a Diablo style game that was sort of had an interesting artistic twist to it the other day. Have you ever heard of Book of Demons?
I've heard of it.
It's kind of interesting because it's like a paper craft sort of thing. Like everything's made of paper.
Hmm.
It plays very differently, but it's still got that Diablo style core to it.
As always, folks, if you're enjoying this stream now or in the future, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to check out some of Krendar's stuff, you'll find the link for him down below. Because I always try to shill my guests. And
Thank you, thank you.
as well as that, if anyone wants to help out in a more tangible, physical way and get us going until eventually I can get some of those fancy new games that I hear so much about, um, my link down there to Streamlabs and other fancy things are down there too. But no pressure if not. I'm just happy for the audience. Just like I'm happy to click battle cry and kill aliens.
For the Emperor.
Um, I hope it is for the Emperor, because the battle cry of the Blood Ravens, if I remember right, is that it's simply knowledge is power. And that sounds like something that Captain Planet would say. It's kind of out of place. As, knowledge is power! The power is yours.
I mean, it could be a good motto for
Maybe
a
a
general, but
librarian
it's
or a tech
it's not
priest.
a
No,
very
not for a
good
tech
battle
priest.
cry.
Knowledge is power, and it is fucking ours.
We're like, knowledge is power, guard it well.
Yeah. Lictor Alpha.
Actually,
Tyrannicus
one of my
Chameleon.
favorite quotes comes from one of these
Camelio.
games here.
Mm.
Comes from our glorious leader, if I remember correctly, Mr. Thule, which was before things happened to him. Which I believe he said, what was it? Lives are the emperor's currency. Spend them well.
I always love how like they've changed over the past 10,000 years from the heresy, and it's lines like An open mind is like a fortress with its gates unguarded, unbarred and unguarded.
Yeah.
And you're just there like, what if a fucking legio were to hear that from like from the Great Crusade? They'd be like, what the hell are these savages doing in power armor? Hey, the chat finally wanted to start working. All spammed in at once. Got a lot of stuff for the. Ooh, I got a. You got a heavy plasma gun if you want to switch it over.
Hmm. Maybe. I'm not sure if that's going to be better than a rocket launcher, though.
Well, let's have a check.
Oh, also another game that's strongly recommended for anybody who likes the Command and Conquer style stuff. Actually, they use the exact same style of building. You know how how Command and Conquer had its own unique way of doing building queues when you're
Mm,
creating actual structures.
yeah.
This game does that as well. It's called 8-bit armies.
Okay, that does sound familiar.
There's actually three versions of the game that have like different genres. There's I forget the names of all three of them, but one of them is modern day armies. One of them is fantasy, like orcs and humans type Warcraft thing,
Mm,
but still with the Command and Conquer playstyle. And one of them is aliens,
okay.
but they all play the same, but with different units and stuff.
Um,
Very fun games. Are pretty cheap.
there's a game made, I think, by Paradox, and it's kind of like Sid Meier's Beyond Earth, and I can't remember what it's called. You land on. It's set in
Oh, Pandora First Contact.
yeah, I think so.
Uh,
I
if
want to
that's what
try
you're
that.
thinking of, I tried it and it played really clunky,
Yeah,
unfortunately. Um, which is a shame. All right, so let's see.
yeah. Let's go into the.
Assault cannon and plasma cannon.
Yeah, have a look at your 222. Also gives you a bit of energy, some damage, and some regeneration for energy.
All right, well the anti-vehicles is still pretty good. Comes crappy as buildings though, but we've got dead charges for that. Um, much better accuracy. Holy shit, missile launcher 9% accuracy.
Yeah.
um,
Oh,
okay,
we're
what are we
so
doing
close.
here?
If damn
This game's gonna
Cyrus hadn't
run,
dropped dead.
but I need two level ups first. Let's hang on to that.
You know, I think I'm going to. I was going to rob Thaddeus of anything useful he has, but the leveling up is
There's no
almost,
panic.
almost. All right, we get to go and fight Indriel of Uthwe.
Yeah, her. Let's take. What's going on the other planets right now? Not much. Okay, yeah, we might as well do this one. We don't have any time limited things right now.
No, that's good. But if we were to go and check out each individual planet, we'd find that we couldn't do anything on that planet, but we wasted a day.
Oh, Bill's got an interesting idea.
Hmm?
Imagine a game that plays like the new XCOM games, but in the Command and Conquer setting.
Call it Command and Conquer. Well, there was a Covert Ops. You remember it? It was set in the Tiberian
No.
universe.
I remember Commando.
Yeah, it was kind of similar.
No, Commando was a first-person shooter, and that was
Oh,
kind of
okay.
neat because you get to see the buildings up close, and it turns out that those Brotherhood of Nod like laser towers are fucking massive
Mm.
and terrifying.
Yeah, you can never get the scale down right in the Command and Conquer games. Like,
Yeah, so like when you see it, it's like
of
the
course, if you
PCN tower with a giant late death laser on it.
speaking of, do something. Check something out. Justin Bieber's house. If you slightly pixelate it, it'll turn into like a research building for like an old Command and Conquer style game.
That's funny.
It's like what it looks. It's. I actually think it looks something out of Empire Earth. Do you ever play that game?
Um, I might have, but I don't remember it. But also, I just want to point out, Bill mate said you could call it Command and Conquer Covert Ops. So I think he was going for the same thing you were there.
um, yeah, that's where you find out that Kane actually was telling the truth and he has lived for thousands of years. Although, if you ever played the fucking Red Alert games, and you'd see that for yourself. Oh, who's this guy Stalin's talking to? He looks oddly familiar.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm up for any game that plays like the XCOM games as long as it is a good game. Because obviously, there's going to be people who try to make a knockoff and they make it poorly.
Yeah,
But
Ycom and shit like that.
well, I didn't mean necessarily that poorly, but yes, that too probably.
Oh, you know it's out there. I mean, when fucking Minecraft came out, look at all the knockoff Minecrafts that popped up out of the ether.
Mm-hmm. Or all the knockoff zombie games that look like Minecraft and
Oh
are
yeah,
grounded and everything. There's like 20 of them.
and hell, a lot of them were made by one guy, and he was the sort of person that Jim went after, and he tried to sue Jim.
Good old digital homicide, more like digital suicide.
Yeah, they're actually back. They're
I
back,
heard.
and it's as pathetic, and it's mostly just them talking about how people like Jim threw them under the bus, and they've completely
Here, shall we
misjudged them.
grab
And
this beacon over here for
yeah,
just
before we start fighting the pointy eared Eldas.
yeah. Actually, what I'm thinking is
Oh shit, bunker!
we get this beacon, then
Don't
we
go
go
inside the
to
bunker. Don't go inside.
uh,
Not you, but I'm taking like the actual Eldar. I'll take on the
okay.
heavy weapon.
Um, why don't we sweep north and get the shrine, and then sweep back south again, and then go east, and you know,
Okay.
sort of go back and forth on the map, grab everything, kill everything, loot everything, the usual.
How orky of you. I approve. Hey, Tarkus, maybe do your job. There, now everyone's gonna pay
Straight to
attention
talk.
to us. It's fine by me. Hate of the Xenos.
There's this game called Phoenix Point that I've got my eye on. That's supposed to be an XCOM type game, but I think it's a little early accessy right now.
Oh, did you see Epic's games in the next few days are going to release Just Cause 4 for free.
I did, and I had that wish listed on Steam, so now I can not
Okay,
have to worry about it.
that's a hell of a find. I'm
Yeah.
a little bit over the Just Cause sort of vibe, but it's not to say that it's bad. It's just, you know, after a while you're like, okay, I've done this before. I've done this before. I mean, I enjoyed 3. And my roommate Metal Monkey, he played the living. He played just Cause 4 to 100% completion.
Nice.
So
I know, I quite like those games. That grapple thing gets to be way too much fun
it
sometimes.
uh it it's something very cathartic about flinging a cow up to a helicopter. You know.
My favorite thing to do in Just Cause, I think 2 and 3, honestly, was I remember some missions where you were trying to protect a car,
Yeah.
and like you're just like standing on top of your friend's car while he drives, and you're protecting him, and other cars are chasing you. So I would just attach them to like lamp posts on the side of the road and watch them just get flung off the side of the road.
The first game, I remember,
Classic.
I was very impressed with it. It was so pretty looking.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And it was doing some new stuff at the time, you know.
yeah, it's kind of like how a lot of
Oh,
people
good
do
idea.
with what's the name of the game?
Let me infiltrate this and attack
GTA,
this
and
guy.
things like that. Isn't it weird? Like, maybe not even weird, but just insane that like when GTA came out, the first one set on the West Coast, it was so huge and massive to us. Now you can play that on your phone.
I know, right?
Like tech, I get that tech is growing constantly. I mean, pretty soon we'll be able to play like Skyrim on like calculators and shit like that.
I mean, we already can. Really, well, it's on phones anyway.
Oh,
Just a
absolutely.
shitty version of it.
Yeah. I like what lazy game reviews does. He's gotten the original Doom to play on numerous calculators. Some even having
Some
MIDI
make you.
sounds, which was just like fucking insane to me. Hold on, Tarkus. There. Ah,
My missile missed. Ooh.
everyone's now shooting Tarkus. That's how I
Your
want that
job,
to be.
Avatist. Come on.
Like how we said grenade as the grenade was blowing up. Like a bit late for that there, Tarkus. Um,
Pretty much, right?
but EA would know how to fuck up the concept. Yeah, and you know what? At first, it wouldn't even be fucked up until EA's marketing department got hold of it. Yes, but we can
Yep.
put microtransactions in, right? Have you thought about a multiplayer? A multiplayer with microtransactions. Ooh. You will join us. We will consume.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, EA is crab people.
Except for wanting to turn you metrosexual, they'll just put loot boxes and microtransactions everywhere.
Yeah.
And when you find a game company that a game studio that produces like high quality games, they'll um, they'll back one game and then take it all away from you, just so you got a taste for something you can never get back.
Have you seen our new data plans?
I
I don't remember if that ever happened in the show, but
remember the game, yeah,
yeah, the game did the whole D-Mobile thing.
or the God, that's one thing that's so different. I don't know what's like in Canada, but I know in America they are they are hamstrung by the fact that it's like all the telecommunication companies are all the same level of horrible.
Mostly.
Like how they take away, especially in rural areas, they'll take away a feature and then a few years later bring it back for an increased price. Kind of like day one DLC, actually. Now I'm thinking of it, it's almost as if big corporations are a bunch of cunts.
Go figure, right?
No wonder I'm starting to like Vosh more and more these days. Speaking of, did you see him interview TJ?
No.
It was a really good one. The two got along so well, and compared to a lot of his guests, people who call in to Vosh, like the episode prior is literally called "Vosh gets mad over free speech." In this one with TJ, the two are just hell. At times, it's like they're kind of flirting with each other.
Maybe they were.
But yeah, I mean, both are bisexual and I think in open relationships. So who knows? I could see worse couples. I could see worse power couples in our community.
I've never watched Vosh's channel before, but he seems like a decent smarmy cunt.
Oh, absolutely. He's got a good combination of being able to take focus on at times the very important things while also having a laugh.
With the
Like
exception of when he decides to just call people Nazis without
that
ever
is my
explaining why.
major concern of him. And anytime I bring it up on his chat, they're like, "Well, if the swastika fits," and I'm like, "Yeah,
Never
but it's
ever
gonna set a
explain
tone for the
why.
rest of
Yeah.
the talk. Like if you go, "Hi, you're a Nazi," it's not gonna endear you to the person. Especially with someone who's so unhinged like Buddy Ralph was. Iron Halo, protect me! Tarkus, defend me by being my meat shield.
And I mean, maybe he legitimately thinks that they are an
Oh,
ally,
I'm sure he doesn't say it to people he
but
doesn't think.
but I think it would be nice if he would actually explain why he thinks that rather than just say it.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's a Nazi? Because he's a Nazi.
Well, actually, no. Well, he does explain, but he don't lead with the damn
Well,
thing.
maybe
Don't
sometimes.
start. Like
Maybe
he will give
sometimes.
you an explanation of why he thinks. In the case of Ralph, it's that like Ralph Gates keeps a bunch of Nazis in his chat, and
The thing with the Ralph, the thing with the Ralph is the only time I've ever seen Vosh, and he never explained why he said that about Ralph.
he did. In the middle of the
Well, he did
conversation.
later, but I turned the video off after the first hour.
Oh, okay.
Because
No, no,
then
he
after an
breaks down.
hour, then it was
But
you
here's the
shooting
thing.
each other
Even
again.
Vosh's explanation of it, it might mean that he gives like a lot of leeway to Nazis, but it doesn't actually imply that he himself is a Nazi.
Yeah, that doesn't mean make you a Nazi.
No, although it does paint you in the best light. Let's be honest here.
Right.
But that's an entirely different conversation. I mean, DP and DFF have some right wing followers. That doesn't mean that any of them are fucking Nazis, but it doesn't bode well.
I mean, it
Like,
depends on what the percentage of your overall audience
mm,
is like. If like
if it
half of your
starts to
audience is like that,
skew in
then we
one
might
direction, then
raise an eyebrow.
you might have to start asking yourself like, why are these people drawn to me? And you know what? Vosh talked to TJ about how a lot of people got into the alt right through him, and TJ openly admitted that if he could, he would have maybe not said this or that over the years because he didn't realize how people would take that shit and run with it all the way to
Yeah.
Tiki Torch
So,
land.
do you want to grab this beacon and then head down to the south and
Sure. By the way, you know
try
you're
and
lagging a little bit in the, or at least Cyrus was.
lagging how? I
Like
mean,
he was kind of glitching, like slow.
oh, was he?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Maybe.
It didn't affect any gameplay, but pirates. I'm not saying pirate, but I'm not saying pirate. Pirate freeware, hack the planet, rabble rabble. Hey, despite what some people might say, there is a certain bay of pirates that's still alive and well. That's all I'm saying on the
An
topic.
entire bay of them, you say?
Yes. In fact, there's several backdoor proxies. A proxy bay, if you will.
What if I won't, though?
Then you're a good citizen. Enjoy drinking the Kool-Aid. I'll be here fighting the man.
Delicious Kool-Aid.
Right out of Jonestown. Kids love it.
There needs to be a Jonestown Kool-Aid company.
I bet you someone tried to sell it at one point. You'll die for this. And you just see the marketing team just staring at the guy, and it'll be like
Our kids
Jerry
are
out
to
of
die for.
it'll be like Jerry with the apples, and they're like, "You're fired."
Pretty
Hungry
funny.
for thirsty for Kool Aid.
Of course, they can't call it actual Kool-Aid because of trademark, but
Yeah, it wasn't even Kool Aid, was it? It
drink.
was like the knockoff Kmart Kool Aid that they drank in
Oh,
Jonestown.
was it?
Yeah, but everyone calls it Kool Aid because
Over this way.
yeah,
Don't want to
no,
get
I
sucked
re-
into the final battle yet.
I recall you lated. Um, yeah, they didn't use the actual stuff. They used the off brand,
I mean,
but
white people are appropriating Bill's culture with tiki torches.
take torches. Yeah, but saying that, like, actually, yeah, why the hell did they use tiki torches? Why not like use, say, flares? There, that's something that white people invented. Imagine how that would have gone. It would have just been like a bunch of people holding flares and smoke everywhere.
Imagine how the whole world would go if cultures were only allowed to use things that their culture invented.
White people would be fine. It's everyone else that would be kind of fucked. Imagine Africa.
What are you
Oh,
talking about? We haven't we learned that Africa invented everything?
I actually went out on a date once with a woman who honestly believes that shit. Um, she posted up random stuff. She actually, one of the first things she did was send me a link to a video talking about how Irish people are actually black.
Oh, she must be a big Gazi Kodo fan then.
I didn't know who that was at the time. I wouldn't be surprised. When I was in Cleveland, I actually ran across a woman. She's working
Equality
up in
all.
college, and she was black, and I thought she knew who Ghazi was, and I was like, oh no, here we are again. And so she's like, he's such a piece of shit, isn't he? And I'm like, oh thank Christ, you had me worried there for a minute. Uh,
He really is a giant piece of shit.
he, Aquanda, y'all. Hooroo.
And it doesn't help that he's got such an irritating voice. It's like, fuck.
Oh, I want.
Can I smack you and Chris Tucker across the face at the same time, please?
Yeah, if he, every year for Halloween he dresses up as Rudy Robb from Fifth Element.
Fuck. Ironically, the only Chris Tucker character I think is acceptable because he sounds like the character he's parodying.
Yeah, it's like the role he was born to play.
Exactly.
Haven't they been threatened to make a sequel for that for a while now?
I'd be into that.
Me too. It was a hell of a universe, and they didn't even scratch the surface.
But again, like literally the only Chris Tucker character I can tolerate. I hate him and everything else.
Oh, you didn't like those movies with Jackie Chan?
I mean, they'd be good movies if Chris Tucker wasn't in them.
Eh. Yeah, I'd have gone for like maybe Wesley Snipes or Eddie Murphy, but no, they went with Chris
Do you
Tucker.
think that's his natural voice, or is he putting that on?
I think it's maybe 10 or 20% faked, but it's the core of it's still all him.
So I think it's really him. But he's exaggerating it.
Yeah,
Could be.
like when I want to get laid in America, I go all Irish. Oh my
I think he
God!
might be
Look at
the.
these fucking look at all the turrets.
I think he might be like a Gilbert Gottfried situation where it's just totally different.
Well, it's bad when Tarkus goes down.
Shit.
Shit, indeed. Maybe we need to fall back.
Uh, Maybe you need to fall back because I'm no longer capable.
So rob and run away.
Yeah, they got way too many reinforcements flanking us on that one.
That's fine, because what we do is we go back and we whittle them down each time, and eventually we break them. Assuming we don't get overrun here as well. Here we are, always mocking the Eldar for being weak as fuck, but
It's kind of you to somehow imply that I'm actually involved in this process in any way.
you're with me in spirit because you're dead.
There you go.
Ghost Marine. Oh, what am I saying? Legion of the Damned. Ghost Marines.
Nice. I mean, there is actually a thing in the 40k universe where there are people who are immortals.
Perpetuals, and there's different types of them too. You got the Emperor, but then you've also got whatever the John Grammaticus.
Yeah,
Stupid name for a good character.
agreed.
Um, Also, I love when when he goes into his own past, and you go to things like they do things
Oh,
like
you're in trouble now, son.
oh, aren't we just should we spam out and do a oh, we can't reset. Oh, will this be our first defeat? It kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
Go Tarkus, go!
Darkest, we believe in you.
Tarkus, he's our man.
If you can't do it, we're fucked.
Stop trying to res, just fight. You're not gonna be able to res him. Then again, you're fucked either way, I guess.
Yeah, I'm fucked. It's those. Maybe because we've got we could ha ha shot the fucking sniper.
Then again,
Yeah, because we got the what you call it
get rid of
I
that
hate
polearm
the
bitch.
fucking knockback. No, stay close to this fucking shit. Would you just kill her? Kill!
How does it keep going?
I don't know. It's wait. What am I doing? Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it! Come on. Yes. Now we got grenades. Throw grenade. Nice.
Nice. Now maybe they'll finally target this person that refused to target.
Yeah. Damn. That was a microcosm of the Imperium right there. Rush Hour films, yeah. I like the Family Guy version of it when they went to Mel Gibson's house and it was Passion of the Christ 2, but it was done as a Rush Hour film. You ever use one of these? Christ holds out a gun to Chris. You ever do one of these? He holds back a joint. This time, it's biblical.
Nice.
Family Guy gets a lot of crap, and a lot of it is deserved. But my God, do they not have moments?
Oh, absolutely.
Run! But oh, never mind.
I'll get right on that.
I'm actually gonna fall back again. See what I mean? We fall back and we draw them out, and they get weaker each time because they don't have any like buildings. They don't have any like warp portals or
Or
anything like that.
even if they don't follow you, you still put a little dent in them when you got there.
Yeah, you whittled them down. You whittled them down.
That's the White Scar's way.
Yeah, circle around until they go. You go for the jugular.
Hit and run.
Of course,
Any more grenades left?
yeah, but I want to use that for a moment like this. Huh. There we are. Fall
That's
back.
what I'm talking about.
That's right, baby. Come on, follow me. You can do it. No, no, they're being a bit smarter than that. They're being a bit smarter than that. Yeah, you want to draw them out into a into like circling around the captain and then grenade him, which won't cause any damage. It
Yeah,
might knock him
pull
down,
them
but
all in for a good AoE. Yeah.
yeah.
I used to do something similar in. You ever played Titan Quest?
No, I've never played it.
It's a Diablo style game in ancient Greece,
Okay.
and one of the skill sets you can go with is called Earth Mastery, which is basically both rock and also like lava and fire spells.
Hmm.
So you can make a rock golem as a tank pet, and then you can lob grenades. Like you've got this fire spell. It's kind of like Fireball from D&D, except instead of flying in a straight line, it arcs like a grenade.
Okay, here we are. Everyone run. Everyone. Yeah.
Yep. So you let the golem run out front and attack everybody, and then you'd lob a grenade at the golem while everybody's gathered around him.
Damn.
It was so effective, especially when you got an upgrade to your grenade ability later that made it into like a cluster grenade.
You take on the
Oh
cat.
shit, there's a vehicle over here. It's a good thing I've got a rocket launcher.
Oh no! How will you possibly defeat it with the weapon that it's designed to destroy?
Enemy tank, you attacked the wrong half of this.
Yeah. Fucking bright
Should I go for the guys
lances.
in melee, or should I go for the guys who are specialized at killing me?
I like a challenge. I'm. What worse could happen? I'm only 3 days away from retirement, and oh no!
Exactly.
Well, that was embarrassing,
Better done.
but we survived.
All right, boss time. There's a couple moments there where I was starting to wonder how this was gonna go.
I'd already looked to see if I could restart it and just spam out rage quit. Oh, Penny Arcade uploaded a great comic on that yesterday, and it was so apparently a real life sponsor for an esports racer pulled out from a dude who rage quit in the middle of like a tournament, and one of them I think Tycho goes, "You do realize that's something a real life racer would do in real life." And then it cuts to like an actual Formula One driver, and he goes, "I could have done that turn better. Fuck it, I'm out of here." And the car just flies away. uh,
Nice.
I loved Penny Arcade. There was real rumors that they were going to end doing like comics pretty soon, but that hasn't
By the
happened.
way, before you go in, let's get that tower to the west out of the way so we don't have anybody sniping us. What do you think? There's that red dot on the map beside the boss.
Uh, that's red. It was grey.
Well, it's red on mine.
You must have seen it. I suppose Cyrus has a better view. All right, I'll follow your lead.
Did you ever play any of the Penny Arcade video games?
Yeah, I played it on Xbox Live. It was free once. Uh,
They were pretty good.
I also kind of like the. Do you remember that card game? It was like a poker game, but it was like a lot of famous game characters and Tycho from Penny Arcade. Um, and that who was that meme? The he was like a luchador,
I don't remember.
and it was like he was one of the first like real famous. I think it was out of Newgrounds back in the day.
Strong Bad.
Yeah, him, the heavy from Team Fortress, and I think Tycho and Gabe are all play. They're all talking about random shit, and it's and they're all trying to like play a game of poker. And every time someone makes a hand, they say something, and Tycho just keeps going into like random quotes of philosophers. And then when he loses, he just like has a fucking hissy fit. He's all real sophisticated, and he's like, fucking piece of you fucking you can't card out. You marked them up. I know you have.
It sounds about right.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you someone else who made some really great games. Did you ever play anything from Yahtzee?
I haven't played Yahtzee stuff. No. My
Hatfall
friends
I had
have.
on my phone. He's doing the Dev Diaries. That were actually pretty popular on my channel before the trip. I don't want to play them now. The kind of tempo is gone. Maybe when they're all out, I'll play them all in like one big sort of goodbye, and I'll make an entire day out of it. They're all free, by the way. Um, but he also did for phones. It was called Hatfall, and Hatfall was oddly addictive. It was one of the. It was intentionally meant to be like a sort of uh, cookie cutter thing. Premise is just your Yahtzee's character, and you're just you have to tap on your screen on your tablet or your phone in the right timing to get the hat on Yahtzee's character, and you know you have to do that as many times as you can to beat your record. And there's all these little
Nope.
quips.
Nope. You lost me at tap the phone at the right time.
Yeah, I mostly had it for the writing. It's plus you unlock new hats, which is of course a spoof on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of spoof, did you ever see? I think Jim played. I know other people did too. It was like loot box simulator.
Oh, I saw Jim play that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a good spoof.
it was, and it was terrifying how at times it was better than some of the games it was spoofing.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I think every time one of our characters loses all their squad, they should like hard run away back to recoup them. Because if they die in one hit, it's just going to cause more hassle for us. So Cyrus is out of
Yeah.
people, so have him retreat.
Might as well. It's not far out.
No. She's getting her ass kicked. Is she not going to summon up the power of the warp? Don't get me wrong, I'm not comfortable with any supremacist appropriating any culture. No, then again, there's a difference between appropriating culture out of the sense of like, oh, silly man go unga bunga. Or, you know, some stupid valley girl dresses up as a Chinese, in a Chinese dress. Because
The best part about that one is
the amount of people supporting her were all Chinese.
yes.
They were saying, oh, she looked great in
Looks
it.
beautiful on you.
Yeah. Hell, Chinese people love when Westerners copy them because it gives them a sense of superiority.
I mean, you ever notice that the only people that squeal cultural appropriation are white knights?
Yeah, and they're often they themselves are white knights, or they're sort of racists from the minorities, like say the Black Israelites.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't even believe that, at least not in this day and age. I don't think cultural appropriation actually exists.
no, I mean if that was the case, every time a black person wears a suit, we should be declaring not just us, but particularly Serbians who came up with the idea of a tie. Because they were the close, they were the first times a tie was recorded, like a cravat got slowly turned into a tie. So every time, so not just hell, not just black people, but everyone but Serbians, if they're wearing a suit, if they're then like Kane, for example, why is he wearing a suit? Did you see his stance on the corona?
No.
Yeah, he at first he dismissed it out of hand, and then he's like, "I'm not going to shut down the state over this, fucking bastard." Oh, we didn't even get one
So
drop pod.
so he's a little baby Trump then.
Mm-hmm. I thought he was a libertarian, but apparently, maybe he is a libertarian. He doesn't want to use his power over the states or over whatever power he has. He's like
It's
a mayor of like a region or something.
it's weird how there's this trend of wrestlers becoming politicians, eh?
Yeah, he wasn't. He was not even the first by far, but of course Jesse Ventura,
Right, exactly.
who I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like Jesse Ventura. Like maybe not so much his politics at times, but I do like I do like just how he'll call out bullshit when he sees it, even if it's a detriment to his own side.
Yeah, that's good.
Allies to the chapter, huh?
Yeah, this is her moment of redemption right here.
Yeah.
This is where she becomes awesome.
Which you think she would have I honestly think that they just don't treat the Space Marines with enough respect. I mean, she's high enough up the chain that when the Governor Vandus runs away, he becomes she becomes the next governor. So she must be taught enough, educated enough to know you fucking listen to when a Space Marine tells you to do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
And there's
instead,
probably
she's
a
like,
good
"Oh no,
reason
you
for the
have to
good
wait
reason.
over here now."
Because they know more about what's going on than you do, and they've got a good reason for making the order.
They're centuries old. They're 7, 8 foot tall. you know, like,
Well, and the ones that are centuries old are the newbies.
yeah.
Some of them are thousands of years old.
I wonder at what point do they stop putting studs on their foreheads or
I
above
mean,
their.
there's at least one space wolf from the Horus Heresy era that
Yeah,
still looks like he's
he's
2,000 years
entombed in
later.
a dreadnought, and
But he is a dreadnought now, yeah.
yeah, he was a scout during the heresy, and he was the last one to see Ferris alive. Um, uh, okay, let's see. First things first, we got a plasma pistol, so that goes away.
Oh, there's an armor rating seal available for somebody who needs armor.
Cool. I'm going to level up some health after
All right,
that.
now we can finally upgrade Cyrus to have more than 6 points of armor.
Yay! Now he has 6.5. That'll make all the difference in the world. Um,
Oh no, now he's got 12 instead of 6. Ooh,
yeah.
exciting.
I'm going to get rid of the
Now it takes
commander
3
item.
bullets to kill him instead of 2.
Manifest Fury. So you don't want that plasma cannon.
Still can't use it, need to be level 13.
Hate of Xenos is level 14. As my Honey Tits is the only character here that would use that. I'm good. Now, as for the Terminator Power Fist, we haven't gotten Terminators yet, so
Uh, I don't know if you want that unerring retribution armor on anybody, but I don't want it.
Well, it's scout armor.
Actually, it's only for Cyrus.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I've been
okay.
holding off.
We're definitely saving that then. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. I saw it was power armor and assumed he couldn't use it.
Um. All right.
Hopefully for him.
Purity seal. Purity seal. Tarkus. His one is 31 health and 20 energy. 50. Wow. 56 health, 36 energy, and 20 armor rating. Yes, Tarkus, we want you to be a walking bunker. Um, 16 armor rating. As for the other seals, you don't want them threatened, do you?
No, let me just double check. But I don't remember wanting them. Hold on. Let's. I've got a range damage on right now. No, I don't want them.
Okay, then off
I'm
into
gonna
the.
concentrate on range damage and accuracy type things.
Yeah. Of course, now I would definitely start getting Avitus up to Terminator honors because
Works on
he's just an indestructible nightmare when he's got the chain gun. Uh, as for
and
good old Thaddeus,
stealth is where
no.
I'm putting his points in these days. So
Which is that's
44
the best of
levels
both
will
worlds. Then
qualify.
you get your health and you get the Terminator armor. Uh,
Yeah.
as for Thaddeus, he's almost got Terminator honors, which I call bullshit. That someone so young will be able to get Terminator honors. I mean, it can happen. It's not based on like age or anything, but still. Angel Gate. Oh, this one. This one.
I
This one.
recommend we leave that as long as possible.
Is there anywhere else we can do?
Yeah.
Typhon.
There's like 3 other missions.
Okay.
Go to
Um.
another planet.
Yeah. Let's. So, do you want to go to Calderis or do you want to go to Typhon?
Why don't we do Typhon? Because there's only one there, but
That
although that's
leads
gonna
to
open up
another
more
one.
stuff.
Typhon is where we get
Ah,
the
let's
dreadnought.
hunt down the gene samples. I guess. Let's
Yeah,
do that.
there's more variety here as well. So into the warp we go. Don't listen to the whispers, or else the events of Battlefleet Gothic will happen.
Hmm. It's 40k. Never listen to the whispers.
Yeah, if you hear whispers under any circumstances, you're fucked. Uh, how about the hand of the hive mind?
Sure. But also an important note: if you're hearing whispers, don't tell anybody, or else the Inquisition will shoot you.
Not always. There is literally a whole story about
Or
that.
recruit you one or the
Yeah.
other.
Uh, it's I think an Eisenhorn story, and this guy, when Eisenhorn's making a big deal of visiting a hive world, he says, if anyone wants to admit to a crime, I'll be in this study at this particular time. And guy actually shows up and says that he hears whispers and he has terrible thoughts. And Eisenhorn just goes, "Yeah, no, you're fine. You're just paranoid as fuck. I could use you." And he hires
The
him.
difference there is admitting it to somebody who's an actual psyker and can check your mind.
Yeah,
It's like, nope, that's not chaos. That's
I
just
mean,
crazy.
how like if he told that to, let's say, an Arbites, he'd be like, "Yes, well, I've got this shotgun, so
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's get going." So just because I want to feel comfortable with me, kind of necessity. Nah. But I guess people need to appropriate culture to survive. So just because I don't feel comfortable with me, kind of necessity isn't correct either. Change me to change. Yeah. No, you're right. I'm sure there's times when, you've seen a bunch of white people or you've seen media that have completely missed the point of something important in your culture. I mean, I'm Irish. Um, you know, what are we known for? Alcohol, leprechauns, potatoes.
Diddly dee potatoes.
Toasty potato. And Krendar, well, you're Canadian, so you've got a little bit more nuance, but it's mostly all boils down to, oh, you're a very polite little. I'm from Canada, and they
So
think I'm slow, eh?
yeah, pretty much. much of a unique thing going on other than being too nice.
I don't know. Letterkenny
That is
opened my
certainly not
eyes.
universally accurate. All right, here. Why don't we go west
Yeah.
and then get these things, then go back east and
Yeah, we'll kind of do like a
capture
sweepy
points.
sweep. Okie dokie.
Give the map a little zigzag.
Heard he fucked an ostrich. Allegedly.
What?
Oh, you never. What have you never watched Letterkenny?
I haven't. What did you just say?
It's a running gag. There's this dude. It's called the Ginger, and the rumor around town is that he fucked an ostrich allegedly, and then it gets into this huge sort of argument of how that can happen. Like, how do you manage that? That can't be a one man job, you know? Like how's the positioning?
Explain
Those things can kick, and
explain the mechanics of this.
like everyone will just go quiet and like in hushed whispers. Oh, um, that's my favorite thing to come out of Canada. Since my own trip to Toronto. I absolutely love Letterkenny. It's a great combination of country humor and just deadpan delivery. Has a sort of Trailer Park Boys going on about it.
No, my favorite comedy to come out of Canada was Kids in the Hall.
I've heard of it. I never had a chance to watch it.
Oh, if you get a chance, you have to. Those people are absolutely demented. It's great.
Oh shit! There's gonna be buildings in this one. That means they're gonna constantly spawn.
And Cyrus, pull back, buddy.
I was gonna say if you're going to, you have to start using cover. Um,
It makes me sad that Kids in the Hall aren't doing their thing anymore because they were legendary.
I know Ben's a big fan of Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, he's got taste, that boy.
But of course, he grew up in Ohio, and isn't it true that like you'd be able to pick up like Canadian shows from like if you're up near the border, you could actually pick shit up.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was a kid, that used to be the case. I mean, cable was already starting to come in, but we used to be able to pick up British stuff. I even once tuned in Spanish TV. Don't know how I managed that,
That's a good question.
but
Yeah,
it was like
pull
a
back,
Spanish weather report. It was
pull
just
back.
like back, back.
Don't get pulled down to that swarm just yet.
Well, that's what
Try to head
Tarkus is
east, but
for
they
with his
keep.
good friend, Mr. Grenade. Boom! Oh, I killed like three. You know what? Speaking of Tyranids, got my mind thinking. What I was watching yesterday, I watched all the Space Hulk game cutscenes, including the very first one from 1993, with his weird flappy mouth.
They've got this weird, relatively newish one now that's like a Space Hulk type game. I think it's called like Deathwing or something.
Yeah, that came out in 16, wasn't it?
Around there somewhere.
Yeah, they keep bringing it back, and I don't blame them. It's a it's a pretty can be pretty intense the way like you have to block off a like a
Avoid
corridor and shit like
bulkheads and
that.
stuff.
But then I saw Deathwing, and it didn't look like a Space Hulk game in that way. It looked more like uh, another type of Warhammer game, which is fine by me. But I suppose because on a Space Hulk and it has Tyranids, they have to call it Space Hulk.
Well, that's what I mean. Like it's on a Space Hulk, so it's a Space Hulk type
Yeah,
concept.
but this game has a Space Hulk in it. We don't call it Dawn of War Space Hulk.
Well, that's because it's only one part of the game. It's not the whole game.
Mm.
Like the game isn't about. It, the whole game isn't about exploring a Space Hulk.
Have you played it?
No, but I've seen a little footage.
I watched every
I have it.
I
I have
watched
it. I just haven't played it yet.
every cutscene of it. So like I know
I
the
think I have it.
gist
Yeah,
of it, and yeah.
I have it wish listed.
It looks like I'm always down for first person Terminator power armor with like a chain gun. So I'm always down for that shit. But it just didn't look like, because in the older games you were so massive in just those tiny little corridors that you are just a giant blockage in a passageway, and you just mow down gene stealers as they pour out at you.
Hmm.
In this one, like they're climbing up the sides of walls and hopping down from rafters, and it kind of looks like the end scene of the third Matrix movie when they get into Zion.
That sounds kind of awesome.
It is awesome. I'm not saying that it's not awesome. I'm just saying that it's not what Space Hulk was, because their counter the Gene Stealer counter is, of course, there's a lot of them, and if they get up close to you, you're fucked. So it was it was all about a quick decision making. I'm gonna block off this horde here, and I'll be safe. But then, if you haven't blocked off a side passage, they'll come around and just rip you to shreds.
All right, let's go back up and get this beacon that we keep getting pulled away from.
Hmm. At the very least, we're also dealing with the buildings, so it's making getting around
Yeah.
easy.
Ah, they keep coming at us.
Yeah, I'll get rid of this chunky turret. That's what it's called. I remember being middle school, after school, turning on channel to Comedy Central and watching Kids in the Hall reruns. My teacher turned it off after she heard a joke. That's always a good sign. If your teacher didn't like it, well,
And you know it's good.
mm,
They also came out with a movie which was excellent. It was just like watching a 2 hour version of the like it was like watching one of their skits that was 2 hours long.
like some of the early Monty Python movies, then.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Of course, one friend of mine that introduced me to the show, he got to have an extra kick out of watching it because it took place like they were in the city he was from. So every once in a while he'd be like, "Oh, I know where they are right now. That's this place. I know what street that is." Like they had one sketch called Steps, which is about like these three gay friends that would hang out on these one particular like set of steps. They just sit there and hang out
Mm.
and just say weird shit. And apparently, the exact location they're sitting at is actually got a reputation for being a gay hangout
Nice.
for whatever reason. So it's like a little bit of
It's
element of truth in their
reality becoming
commentary.
art.
What's that?
It's reality becoming art.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I didn't get. I got plenty of sleep, but I didn't get as much as I'd like. Um,
Mm.
Ever since I got back, I'm still getting used to this fucking cold bogland that I'm living in. One thing I noticed
Yeah,
about
it's not a
America,
place to
where I was
live. No.
staying, it was always so dry. Even though it was cold, it was very cold, but it was dry cold. Here I am literally in a bogland. Heat is a major export of this county, and it's so frigid. Ugh. And of course, that makes me feel cold, and when I feel cold, I feel tired. So,
I know what you mean. I have a hard time sleeping when I'm warm. When I'm too
most
warm.
people can't sleep when they're like too warm. You have to train yourself to do it.
I get too warm too easily. So I like to like I sleep best when my room is actively cold.
I
If I
love when
get
you've
hot
just.
underneath my blankets, I'm shivering.
I love the first time you like you after you've washed your sheets and you've done up your bed and you kind of like flip it up and it gets all nice and smooth and then you get inside it and it's like it's very chilled. It's nice and cold. That's a nice feeling. Because after time your body warms it up, but
Right. Because the thing with me is like I put out enough body heat that if my room's not that cold, then I'm gonna get too warm underneath my blanket.
mm,
I'm gonna roast myself in my own juices.
ooh, Krendar juices. You should have that down as a Patreon goal.
There you go.
You know,
With a
Belle
sponsor.
Delphine can't have all the fun. You can bottle your own juices, Krendar juice.
Here you go.
Sure, Girly would buy a bottle. I don't think she'd open it. She'd just have it on her shelf somewhere.
I do have to laugh at anybody who did buy that bathwater though.
Oh, I just bought it as a meme. Yeah, sure you did, buddy. Unless you have a channel where you opened it up. Um, yeah, you bought it as.
Yeah.
We all know why
Don't
you
lie
bought
to
it.
us. We see you drinking it right now. I mean, granted, the girl's cute as hell, but
She is, but you can tell she's from this generation that you never take anything she can say seriously.
well, no, of course not.
And so if she, for example, says, "I have you seen her Pornhub account?" She said when she hit like so many views, she'd open up a Pornhub account and do all this really nasty. Look, you best get Cyrus out of there before he dies. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
um,
Oh, why is he going that way?
I don't know. Their pathfinding is a joke sometimes.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was the closest beacon. It just happened to be through the enemy.
so she, you go to her page and it's things like Belle Define gets a massive cream pie, and she's just there and she slams a cream pie into her face.
Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, it is, but like people actually, you can actually go into like her chat and you'll see like the simps getting absolutely livid with her because they donated money, and she's like, "Dude, you weren't owed jack shit. She's not your fucking girlfriend. You got played, son."
You got trolled hard. And honestly, if you're that big a fan of her, you should know that she's like that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Casey Tron. She's uploaded pictures of herself nude as she said it, and it was just like some of the most disgusting fat blobs of flesh that she could just
Oh,
find online.
she's also a massive troll.
She is. That eventually comes back to bite you in the ass, but she got banned off Twitter not too long ago. Well, not Twitter, Twitch. But she just came back, and it wouldn't be the first. It's not the first time she got banned. Won't be the last time. She's just.
Although that Delphine thing with the cream pie, that is funny.
It is. There's a good few of those ones. And you know what? There's already nudes of her out there in lewds before she realized she didn't actually have to take it off to get the views.
Yeah.
I imagine now she's got her own OnlyFans, and people will be like, "What can I see?" And it'll be like, I don't know, her trimming her nails or something like that, or maybe reading a paper.
Yeah. For some reason, there's a lot of people out there who insist that she's a tranny as well.
Oh well, that's just a constant. You've seen DP enough to know that there's a whole society of people who think that any famous woman is a trans.
Yeah.
And that speaks of some deep-seated psychological problem with that
Oh
person.
yeah. For sure.
To the point where it's kind of terrifying. Like there's that guy who sounds like a Rastafarian,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he thinks that like all these
That's
people
a
are like,
granny right there.
yeah, I know women. I know women. That's not a woman, man. That's not a woman.
Doesn't that guy also think that all actresses are men, but all actors are women?
Yes, and that's the same vein as the
He thinks that
Australian dude
everybody
who
is a
thinks
suitor.
that all well, politicians are gender swapped since World War One.
It's like, why would they be? It's so
Yeah,
stupid.
it's the same logic with like the globalists, the flat earthers. It's all a plan to trick us. Why? What
Well, I
do
mean,
they gain?
not forget the whole world knows by now that Australia doesn't actually exist.
Well, Australia doesn't exist because it was thrown into an alternate reality time warp. I think Stephen King wrote like 5 books on it. Oddly enough, they're all set in New England, but that's just what he did.
Yeah,
You know,
right
write
where the
what you
world was
know.
supposed,
What you
right?
know is 50s rock and
In New England.
Christianity, I guess. Let's take out that fucking hive node. Fucking hive
Let's
nodes.
take out those grenade spitters.
Yeah, that's what that
Actually,
is. It's a hive node.
oh, that's what I call that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, how about the zone through?
Yeah, he's our target anyway, so he's almost dead.
Also a right prick in his own right.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him farting out brain farts of brain. Ooh, Stormbolter.
Kinky.
Yeah. Of course, we can't have it until we get our power. Maybe I'll actually hold on to that because I'm going to get the Terminator power armor pretty soon. After Angel of Ford, you have to go back once more, and then Tarkus goes and runs off and does Tarkus shit. And then he comes out and he's dressed up like Papa Death Metal.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm going to be I'm actually getting drowsy, so I'm actually going to go and quickly grab something with caffeine in it. So you can be able to hold down the fort, keep such amazing people such as Bill and possibly Rose could still be in their company for a few minutes.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Won't be too long.
Shan't.
So, Bill, what's your favorite Kids in the Hall sketch?
I return you late. Okay.
As for myself, I remember there being this one where this. Oh, hold on. Is that him?
Alrighty.
There he is.
Continue.
Welcome back, Jurassic Park.
E.
I was just asking Bill what his favorite sketch from Kids in the Hall was. I remember one personally where there's this guy who'd just been left by his wife quite recently,
Mm.
and it's left him really messed up mentally. So he's just going around the house, half asleep, pouring milk on everything, and like muttering weird shit like "Can't fix the car without a whole lot of milk." So he's pouring milk inside the engine of his car to try to repair it. He goes outside and pours milk on the flowers. Meanwhile, his like 8-year-old daughter's sitting there eating cereal, looking at him like he's a lunatic. Or remember, there's this one other sketch where the guy had a mouse in his apartment, so he goes like ends up in some sort of like Rambo style guerrilla warfare against this mouse because he can't catch it. He's just losing his mind over this mouse. Such a strange show, and I do love it.
I've heard nothing good things. I also always want to check out In Living Color. Hear that's pretty good too.
Oh, that was good. That's how Jim Carrey got his career started.
Oh, nice. I've seen one or two clips from that. I like the one. Wasn't that the one where they're like three like South African park rangers or something like that, and they go, "Now we will put our heads back and laugh derisively." Ah!
That sounds like them. But yeah, Jim Carrey was the only white guy on the show, and nobody had heard of him before. At least I'd never heard of him before that.
I know. Also,
But his career kind of exploded later, though.
that it did. I also know there's a skit in it where what's his name? It's I think Brad Jones's favorite one, and he just I don't know what the premise is, but at the end of it, they're just laughing, and suddenly they turn to the audience and go, "We're black friends."
All right, I'm gonna try out Manifest Fury, but leave the missile launcher alone
Yeah,
in
sure.
case I need to switch back to it later.
That makes sense. Bloop.
Let's see.
Let's see. Indeed,
I'm
Power
still hoping to
Fist.
find something with. Oh wait. Oh, this
Ooh,
looks like something with a minus 42 ammo
Rending
rating though.
Might. A 21% chance of hit plus 14. And if you do hit with that 21% chance, it's a 14% damage for over 8 seconds. So it's a lingering effect. Just
Yeah, I
enough.
mean it doesn't change your accuracy, but it just means that when you hit, there's a 21% chance that that'll happen.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
more or less every 4 or 5 times. So against the big targets like say Carnifex, it'll do some lingering damage, and that's good.
Oh, this is funny though. The unerring retribution armor for Cyrus.
Mm.
It's called unerring, but there's no actual accuracy bonus to it.
I actually gave Thaddeus a power weapon because I just felt so bad for him. He looked so naked.
That's fair.
But I'm
Sad
gonna stick
person.
him with the Judgment of the Khan until like we've either maxed out our leveling and then there's no point to be stingy, or until the end of the game.
So I've got to the point now where Cyrus can now resurrect people immediately.
Oh, that'll be useful. Although he's the one who always gets killed
I
first.
know. But if by some reason somebody else does first, I could have Cyrus infiltrate and then go sneak resurrect somebody.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope we can actually put that to the test.
Also, we've got
28,
Dreadnought
26, 26, 20, 36, Gift of Mars. 28. Hell yeah. Yeah, let's get rid of the Dreadnought armor. It's free money right there.
Yeah, I tossed away the white power armor.
Yeah, no one needs that whitey here. We need a little bit of Menelin in our chapter. A little bit of salamanders, if you know what I mean.
Oh, damn. They're the master Menelins for sure.
Yeah. They're also the nicest. Have you noticed that? They kind of slip that in. Ah, no one can call us Nazis now because the salamanders are the nice chapter.
They really are, though.
Oh, this is useful. I didn't know this. He couldn't do this already. Range specialist. Darkest can fire plasma guns and flamers while moving. Good. 26, 30. Nom, nom. Hey, you're lucky I didn't do this before we began. I was eating noodles. I'll fucking turn into what's his name, King Cobra, with his weird slop meals that he puts together, and takes like the most disgusting bites and slurps out of them.
That weird giant tower of burger.
Yeah, and it fell apart after one thing.
Like why even bother? Like, why not just have three hamburgers that you eat separately?
Yeah, and he did that in public too, didn't he? He did it in like where was it? A
Oh,
Wendy's
I
or
haven't seen
something?
that one. I just saw the one he did at home.
Oh yeah, that one was great. The grease burger. I've done
Didn't
stuff
he
like
like
that when I
put
was absolutely
enchiladas or
plastered
a
and I was
burrito or something
morbidly
on his
obese.
burger?
Hmm?
Didn't he put like microwave burritos on his
Yeah, he
burger?
put yeah, they were either burritos or enchiladas or something like that.
Yeah,
No, they were
he's such a strange
chimichangas.
lad.
They were chimichangas. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
God.
such a strange boy.
He is. And then do you remember that scum soup he had with the cheese that just melted?
That wasn't soup. That was just a bowl of melted cheese.
Well, I bet he called itself a soup. It made him
Oh
feel
yeah,
just a little less ashamed. Also, if you
I mean, I love
notice,
melted cheese, but I like something with it.
with it, yeah, get at least a little bit of bread and dip it in, because then you can at least say I've made some cheese on toast or something. He doesn't have any Wonder Bread or something? Ugh. Boop. And boop.
I mean, he ate all of his Wonder Bread when he was having that enchilada burger.
Yeah, he did the ghetto burger, didn't he? With the it wasn't even buns. He just used the regular bread
Just
slices.
toast.
Yeah.
Just toast.
Well, that's two. Um, Pistons of the Death Angel, Force Commander. Yeah, that shit. Um,
God, he's such a strange lad.
he is. Have you noticed also something very important? He doesn't do streams now anymore. From the bar. I almost think that he's been kicked out of there.
Maybe.
Because he used to. That's where I first saw him. Hell, I saw him back when Scotty and TJ and Paul were there. He was like doing random footage from like a corner, the smoking area outside like some dingy dive bar.
Yeah.
Um, and now he doesn't do that shit anymore.
And man, that
He just
he
drinks at
really
home.
rages out sometimes too.
I think
Cannot
he's
handle
it.
his anger.
I think he's fast tracking to become uh, the next
Burglar.
Jared Genesis.
Yeah, yeah, he's on that track for
Maybe
sure.
not the whole pedophilia angle, but definitely
More
the attitude.
the rage twit weirdo angle.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. He's definitely doing that. Although I think that if he wants to say his piece, then DP is open to him, and they'll be more than happy to have him on. And then after he's
That would be
gone, they'll be
awesome,
like, he
actually.
was nice. And then next week they'll just be making fun of him. And if they do it to Egghead, they'll do it to him. Now these
And
two,
Egghead likes it.
Egghead has
Egghead
learned to
personally.
like it. I remember a very different Colton back in the day. He used to just be like, "Why are you making fun of me, guys?" And then he would go and do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then now one day I think he just woke up and went, "Wow, maybe if I just lean into it, and I think it works better for him that way." He's at least happier.
Oh, you know that he's a masochist now for sure.
Absolutely, we've kind of Stockholm syndrome him.
Yeah, like you notice that nobody has to ask him to put on the shock collar. He wants to do it.
Absolutely, he's always the first to bring it up. Hey, maybe someone will bring you a shot collar. What shot collar? Who said that? Oh, okay, I guess. These two
I mean,
purity seals. Do you want them, Fred?
who else would be willing on receiving pain so that somebody else can get paid for it, not himself?
What would that make him? Is there even a term for that yet?
Yeah, masochist.
No, but like so someone who would instead of just getting shocked, but it's for someone else's financial enjoyment. It's not like pay pig because a pay pig would be giving money away. He's not
Well, that's
giving
what's a
money away.
masochist.
He's giving.
He's just doing it because he enjoys the abuse.
Well, hey,
It's
I'm
not
not going to
about
kink
money.
shame, but
No, no, I'm not king shaming either. I'm just saying that's the term for what he is.
mm, maybe. I think you might be right. The real question is, when the camera turns off, does he bring it into the bedroom with egg tits?
Oh, you know he is.
I wonder if eventually she's going to be like, yeah, he got really weird near the end before the incident.
Oh yeah, that's
He
what I'm
started getting
expecting.
toys that were just all in German. The websites were all in German, and they were actually illegal to cross over borders.
We're possibly maybe 2 or 3 years away from that, away from the incident.
The next time he's at a meetup, he tries to make up for the mistake of the last time he was at a meetup where like they were making fun of the fact he wouldn't drink, and he just gets so shit faced, and he's like, "Look what I can do, guys! Oh my god!" Billy just rushing at him. Hey, Colton, my god, are you okay?
Was it two meetups ago where he flew out, had two drinks, and then flew home?
Yeah, I think that was the one, and he was just
Was
ripped
that the
for it
last
for
one?
ages. And
Well,
or
why would you fly to a meetup and then stay for half an hour and then leave?
yeah, that must have cost a fortune. By the way, do you want these purity seals, friend?
No.
Okay. Into the reclamation pool you go. We've almost got a level up there. Next,
Almost.
next turn. Next turn. Okay. Let's go and kill off more nids. Uh,
Indeed. My
Powerful tyrant creature has been spotted, Commander. They even changed his voice for the third game, didn't they? Gabriel Angelos. He doesn't have the same voice. Oh no, that was
However,
Gorguts. They replaced Gorguts' original voice. That fucking sucks. He doesn't
one
sound
thing
like.
I'll give them, one thing I will give them for the third game is it was damn pretty.
It could be very pretty at times. I like, for example, when they attacked the when the orcs attacked the Black Fortress. It kind of reminds me of remember in Command and Conquer 3, Rising Sun. You actually get to attack one of the giant tortoises, the Black Tortoise, and it's just this whole floating island that's an entire map to itself, and it's just brimmed with guns. That's kind of like attacking the Black Fortress, so that was brilliant.
Nice.
Um, Okay, yeah, killing Ravener. Oh, you get the remote detonation pack, the most useless thing in this game.
I'd never use it.
I never saw the point of it because you just get equip someone with the demolition pack. You go up, throw it in, boom, done.
Bob's your uncle. I always enjoyed that saying.
Right,
All right, west of the shrine then.
I was about to say the exact same thing. Good stuff.
That was almost a sentence.
Bro, bro.
They were almost words, in fact.
Hey, I've got some digestive biscuits stuck in my gum. Give me a break. I love if actually if you zoomed in right close to the guy with like a plasma gun or something, he'd actually just be saying "Jew."
That would be great.
It's like that scene from Hot Fuzz when they're having the car chase, and it cuts to a Nick Frost character, and he's literally going bang, bang, bang with his gun as he's firing it.
I like how this plasma cannon, or whatever they call it, is basically just an energy missile.
I love the charge up of it. You can actually feel like
Right?
the weight of it, like.
I remember there being some sort of weapon in this game that was similar to this, but it was a bigger ball of energy and it would send out pulse waves as it flew.
I remember you
Insane.
kind of mentioning that before, and I was
Yeah.
thinking Melta, but
No,
Melta's more of a wave.
it's definitely not a Melta. It's also a very rare item. Like
Uh, a Psy
it's a
Cannon,
special
maybe?
effect that makes it do the pulses along the way.
It could be a Psy
Hard to say.
Cannon.
Maybe.
But I don't remember a Psy Cannon in this game.
Not Psy Cannon, but it's I don't know. I don't always get it in every run through the game, but it is really OP if you
Well,
find
if you
it.
do spot it, do tell me.
Oh, absolutely. It was a blue ball of energy, very similar to this one, but larger. so we don't get pulled into a massive tide of things.
Yeah, there's bound to be so much more. Plus that fucking node.
Yeah.
I suppose it makes sense. They don't really have like Tyranids lack a lot of things, so it kind of makes sense they have an overpowered.
Gotta compensate in some other way.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the. It's kind of like the Eldar. They have a lot of powerful weapon platforms because their weapons, themselves are kind of really weak. All right, I'm gonna go.
Get Tarkus out of there.
Tarkus is fine. It's Honey Tits that you got to worry about. He's being old Rambo right now. Actually, he's being more Leroy Jenkins.
Well, I'm not saying that Tarkus is in danger. I'm just saying he's in the wrong place.
Yeah. And while we're at
He's
it,
off by himself doing nothing.
he was killing off 2 Tormagants. That's important. By the way, I'm actually surprised I haven't once done a Leroy Jenkins and won those charges.
It's a shame.
So I have to change that. Field generators are playing one lands wrong and this crushes us all. I didn't, I didn't, I didn't set that one. It was him. Because so random.
Failed.
Well, time to hit the old dusty space trail. The ship just gets flies away in another place.
Nobody saw that.
Well, if that on the plus side, it means he wouldn't fall to chaos.
It's true.
Yeah, so
It's true.
it's true. There's someone you don't see anymore. Body Mind or something. What was her name?
Yeah, Jamie Body Mind.
Yeah.
Actually, why don't we start
Yeah.
top and get rid of this fucking.
This thing. I don't like the fact that at the very least, don't forget to throw the demolition charge to that big boy over there. But yeah, I think honestly, like they're doing so many other things that it's just, it's.
Honestly, I don't mind because those two, the joke was starting to wear a little thin. There's not a lot of mileage in that particular joke. I don't think.
I don't know. When they were negging the trees, I thought that was fucking hilarious.
That was really, really strange.
That was like, what the? I love Billy's approach to it. He's like, what?
Billy's great for reactions, though.
You've got me to thank for the. Was it Angela Lansbury, the health and body video that Billy was jacking off to?
Oh yeah.
My
That was weird.
I follow Pushing Up Roses, and she mentioned in passing in a video about Murder She Wrote that if you ever want to see a very strange thing, check out the Angela Lansbury thing. So I did that and I posted it up, and then like I was floored. Love Girly, even Girly got awkward at like Billy's over the top, sort of like, I'm becoming an Angela.
Yeah, but you know, Girly's not one to kick shame.
Oh, she's not cake shaving, but you have to do. Ooh, that looks like it would be a chunky boy for Avitus. Wait until we heal up a bit. But you have to be entering new levels of passion to make Girly go, okay.
It's true.
It's true.
Also, what is with that name, Body Mind? Anyways, that is so weird.
I'm guessing it's body and mind in unison.
Yeah, it just sounds awkward the way it's gotten put, though, right?
I loved how Jeff would play up that he wanted like the ultimate hand job from her. Which she does look like she's got quite potent arms. In fact,
Hmm.
after that, I would watch other like a female YouTubers and just look at their arm strength and be like, yeah, that would be kind of nice. They'd have a nice rotation, have a
Well,
nice little
Jamie's
thing.
got gets a lot of exercise with all that stroking of the sky testicles that she does.
Eh, eh, eh. Kind of. When she did that, it kind of looked like it always kind of looked like, remember when like a kid wanted a teacher to pick them when they
Oh
raised their
yeah. Ooh,
hands,
ooh,
and
ooh,
it was
ooh.
like me.
Yeah. I can't say you're wrong at all.
Also loved how sometimes the horses wouldn't play along with them. And like you could tell they were like so sick of her. They'd just be like, look, give me a fucking apple or piss off.
Yep.
Oh, that might explain why she probably gives the best hand jobs.
Oh.
That's
You
true.
mean
That'd be
she gives
very
the horse all those
Vosh.
apples? Doesn't have any apples, but she's got to give the horse something.
Yeah. Um, which, can I just say something? That is one of the most common zoophilia things for women. Horse
Oh, is that
cocks.
her dogs?
I've actually talked to girls who claim to have fucked their dogs.
Uh huh.
Yeah, that was
You mean
I
that
was
blonde chick?
that one blonde chick comes to mind. In fact, I've even seen the porn video she posted up of it. It's actually an instruction guide slash a porn video.
Oh man.
I didn't do it out of any sort of sense of like, oh, this is hot as fuck. Rather, it was more of a, what the fuck am I looking at? And then once it actually cut to like real footage of her at it, I was like, okay, no, I don't want to
Well, I
see
guess that
these
proves
things.
her claims.
Hmm. Um, but yeah, it was like horsecock and that, and like any more than that, I suppose you enter the realm of furries, but which is its own separate creature because like I 100% believe that the bulk of furries don't want to fuck animals.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Hell, if you ever saw that Mr. Medicare thing, come on, give us a day, give us a day, yay! We got our deployment.
But if anthros became real creatures, you know they'd be all over it,
And you know what else?
literally.
I at least consider it, depending on how they look. They'd have to hit all the right terms, and they'd have to be predominantly human, like cat girls, for example, like just girls with like cat ears,
Oh
tails.
yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
there's nothing wrong with that. But when they're like furry and they look like the cast out of Cats, well, that's entering more terrifying territories.
Especially when you can't kiss somebody without getting your teeth punctured by sharp teeth.
Or hell, in the case of a cat, so getting a blowjob with those tongues.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
fuck no.
And those are just like the straightforward animals, the foxes, the cute cat girls. Get like really creative, and you've got people who want to be snails and slugs and
I've seen that.
eels.
I saw an anthro clam once. It was terrifying. It was like something out of a horror movie.
Oh my god, I'm that's my mutant. Actually, fuck that shit. Um, Antro clam,
It was like a clam or an oyster or something along those lines.
Antro club, Antro clam, picture furry. Uh, it's a lot of it's a lot of standard furry pictures. Did you mean club? No, I don't mean club. Would you like to subscribe to our newsletter? No. Um, damn. Oh well, that might explain. I didn't spell clam right. Uh,
Well, has something to do with it.
well, there's a furry on a beach. No, no, damn. If you remember what the picture is, don't hesitate to post it up on my Discord.
Oh, I have no idea where to find it anymore. But if I come across another one,
Ooh, I'm guessing Cyrus can't use. Yo, he can. He can switch out the sniper.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's nice. That's real nice right there.
I like my gun because my penis doesn't like me. I'm not overcompensating. Have you seen my car? It's very big and
Ooh,
phallic like.
look at Vulcan's Wrath. I need another level up for that, but that looks pretty.
It doesn't it? Look at the way it glows. This is how they get you with those loot boxes with weapons. Behold, the it's a different color and it has a decal in the background that glows a bit.
Yeah. By the way, that armor there, if either if you're not using it, I'm not gonna. I don't want it, so you can toss it. If
Mercy
you're
of
gonna use it,
Russ. Maybe Thaddeus. Oh,
no,
you
the
can.
other one, the Abjuration of Fear.
No. Well, one thing at a time. First things first.
But
Thaddeus now
hopefully
can
we're
use
close to
Terminator
that.
honors. I don't know if I'm ever going to use. Well, if we get enough Terminator power armor, then I suppose. But we'll see. Adoration of Fear. 36. Let's see. This is 36. But I got better movement speed, and considering I'm close quarters, that's what I kind of want. As for 24, one melee skill, yeah, all right. And that also means Tarkus gets leveled up. Hooray! Um,
Huzzah!
Mercy of Rus. One strength combat discipline. Again, Thaddeus would be the guy I'd want to use for that, but he's 4 levels away, so there's no point. Not unless I want to switch out my Gift of Mars armor. 39. Oh, well, actually, it is better. All right. Fair enough. Seeing that I am a melee character anyway.
Yeah.
Gift of Mars now. Does he want that? Tarkus? No point. He's got better armor. All
Have you
right.
ever tried specking out the Force Commander as ranged instead of melee?
I have indeed. I once also gave Tarkus heavy bolters and shit like that as well. The end result is a lot of great fire, but the second someone gets close to you, it's done.
Yeah.
Uh, Oath of the Crusader. Uh, Epitaph of a Martyr. I'm guessing these two purity seals you don't want.
Hang on to one of them actually, because I'm
Which one?
in the next couple level. The range damage one,
Okay.
Epitaph of the Martyr.
Then suppress positions and armor rating. Oath of the Crusader.
Because
Uh,
soon,
oh,
either level 15 or level 16, I'm gonna get myself another accessory slot for
okay.
amulets.
Well then, there's the Martyr one. Uh, want to go to Typhon, start doing that, and then well, we've been doing it for 2 hours now. Want to call it after the
Yeah.
next mission?
Yeah, we'll do one more. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to Typhon. So we know what we're doing when we come back next week. Assuming you're up for it next week.
Should be.
Okay.
Don't see why not.
Always good to ask. We all have our own timetables.
Tis.
Ooh, a cutscene.
Planet Typhon orbits a star on the outer edge of subsector Aurelia. Its lush jungle canopy shrouding it in mystery.
Pretty place.
Mm-hmm.
I like that cliffside waterfall.
Among this beauty lie the keys to our
Looks
salvation.
like it will. It's the start of a L'Oreal ad,
Kinda.
Our destruction.
and this looks like the start of many things I've seen from Japan.
Commander, we have located the Tech Priest base camp, but it is in grave danger. An
Well,
organ
tech priests are always in grave danger
We
until a
cannot
Skatari
risk
game comes out. They're always going to be
this base
someone's
camp.
bitch,
If the Tech Priests
Mm-hmm.
are killed, we may
which is a
lose
shame because
I like
I
how
fucking
every
love. I love Mechanicus.
I like how that cutscene is like implying. It's like they're introducing the planet to us as if we haven't done multiple missions on the planet already.
I know, right? Which is the optional one. Uh, I suppose in
Technically, neither.
um Into the hive, then maybe.
I think that starts the things with Thule, isn't it?
Yeah. So, or we
Yeah,
could do
that'd be
the
the one, I
orcs.
think.
It's up to you. Want to spice it up with the orcs before we go?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. We've been doing nothing but Nids and Eldar.
The tech priest base camp.
I haven't gone up against the Greenskins in a bit. Oh, no.
Straight for their location.
Was it a tank?
Greenskins have just cut a swath through several small communities and
Yeah,
outposts.
from a powerful looted tank. So, Avitus has got himself ready, right?
Powerful looted tank. We
Aye,
cannot
aye.
let the orcs reach the tech priest
Also,
base
before I
camp.
go, let's just have a quick check to see if anyone can hold. No, right. Boom. All right. Target is vulnerable to attacks from power weapons, which I've got plenty of. So.
Isn't everybody vulnerable to that, though?
Yeah, actually. Although, horde, it's implied that you're not meant to use them against hordes because it's slow moving.
That's true.
So you're meant to use like chain
But
swords
that's
and
why you've
shit.
got Avitus and Cyrus here. Actually, pretty much everybody else on the team is good at hordes, so. Force Commander doesn't have to worry about that.
No, because he doesn't have his helmet on. He's one of the few that will survive, or he is a protagonist.
Also, hello, Bats. Yo to you too.
Yo, B-Bats, welcome to the show. I'm sober now, don't you know?
Oh, we got two things to. We got a choice of stuff to take over.
What's
thing in the West?
the the relay. Good. Come on, baby, don't be shy. I'm going to make you die. Haha! Grenade somehow blows up a truck. Okay.
It sounds like a proper clunky ass orky truck to me.
Yeah. All you have to do is cough towards most orc vehicles and they'll start exploding in a series of massive flashes.
Hell, maybe not even that. Sometimes you just have to wait and let them do it on their own.
Wonder how many orc wars were stopped because a random Gretchen dropped a spanner into something that started like a sort of mousetrap level of shenanigans. And the squig bit the orc, who punched the other orc, who hurt the Gretchen, who yelled at the other Gretchen.
Absolutely. Bat says apparently my audio is kind of quiet.
You do come across as a bit on the quiet side. Is there any way you can higher it up a bit?
Try, but Discord allows you to adjust that as well. Like, can you not adjust me in Discord, or am I already at 200% for you?
I don't know. Let's because I can't pause because it's multi. So let's
Yeah.
deal with these, and then I'll go into. I mean, you're a very soft-spoken person anyway, so I just assumed.
Says you.
Yes, just right there. Good, you're learning English. None of that French-Canadian bullshit here.
Oh, fuck that.
You keep that shit on Pontypoon, and that's where it stays. That's actually, in all fairness, a great movie. Very interesting take on the whole zombie apocalypse.
Alright, pull back so we don't aggro 10 million other things.
They seem to be following us anyway. Okay, let's go back and...
Hold down these ruins here.
Yeah, alright, so I'll just go in and check out Discord. So... Is it output? Which one is it again?
What you don't, go to what the call is. If you right click on me, there should be a volume slider.
Oh.
Right there.
I see it.
Turn me up to 200%.
Okay, that helped a bit, I think.
And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I usually have most people at 200%.
You tell me, chat, you of course are gauge on this.
All right, testing. Testes. 1, 2,
Testicles.
3.
Testicles for you and me.
Mhm.
Testicles. The gayest hero from Greek mythology.
Do you ever play Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
Yep. Got a bit of fun out of it too.
I love how they had a character named Testicles in there.
Um,
That's quite glorious.
was he the one who's
There's like a huge, massive guy who's kind of a dumbass.
Oh no! I was thinking of the one who's he's in a cage and is like his
Oh no,
his parents want to set him free. But there's something like really perverse about why he's in there or some shit like that.
it was Who's the guy that you were supposed to bring to the Olympics?
I don't think I got that far. You know, I never actually finished it. It was the
Okay,
first. It
something
was the
like that.
first Assassin's Creed I bought. I still have, but I didn't have the urge to finish it. I enjoy going back to it at least once a year, going around the Aegean, which is a really nice touch.
Yeah, you should get back into it. There's a side quest where you're supposed to bring this guy to the Olympics, and his name is Testicles.
I'm so
He
looking
is
forward to
just
meeting Testicles.
a gigantic idiot.
What about um, what about that actor? Who, he's like the biggest man slut.
Oh, yeah.
There's an example again of zoophilia. You go to bed with him and a bunch of prostitutes, and the goat, and it just, there's
He's
another
fully
goat.
bald at one point. Yep.
That's one of the things where people might laugh about it, but if they were put in the position, they'd be like, you know, eyes are a little bigger than your stomach, so to speak.
Right. Exactly.
Sounds a little better. Um, Tell you what, next week, not only will I make sure that we're at 200, which it should stay that way now, right?
It should stay there.
I will also maybe the game option. Where's master? Oh, master's pretty low. There. It's about as best as I can do. But also, I will. I think Discord, not Discord. Streamlabs might hold the secret to fixing that.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I just have to raise up
Or
the
maybe
input.
even Windows Sound Mixer, Audio Mixer, whatever it is, where you
Mm,
can adjust the volume of individual programs.
that could be the
You can like
case.
turn Discord up.
Mm. Yeah, we got some options. But thank you, B-Bats, for the feedback, because this is how we learn and improve ourselves.
Yeah, this is how we know.
More, like as you know, my channel doesn't always get the most views, and more than once, uh, I have talked to myself for about an hour without realizing there was no audio.
That's embarrassing, isn't it? When that happens.
That's unfortunate. Bang goes the gun. Bang goes the gun. I love the sound of the tank gun.
It was quite the tank.
Well, it is a good old-fashioned Lehman Russ. They've just strapped
Well, it used to
orc
be
shit.
anyway.
Still technically is.
Now it has been thoroughly desecrated by now.
Yeah, maybe it's not a good old-fashioned, but it's still the core of it is still the same.
Mm-hmm. That's what it started its life as, anyway. Let me tell you
Orcs
about one
probably
half
think
of the
humans
spirit.
create like the embryo or cocoon things of
Yeah.
things, and it takes an orc mind to turn it into real.
I'll tell you that machine spirit is not happy, though. That's for sure.
Well, sure it is. It now has a much more orky accent.
It's just more. It's just a Cockney spirit now.
And I'm just picturing a London cab having that exact same accent. um, Alright, let's go and secure this. I'd throw at that vehicle something. Yeah. Especially because if we're
I'm
look,
impressed with Cyrus's throwing arm, though. Honestly,
he is a space marine, but I mean, at the same time, it is a impressively long throwing arm.
it's also a very non-aerodynamic package to be throwing.
Yeah, he's basically just throwing I wonder if at another light, did that motherfucker blow up our supply crate?
He's throwing like a small backpack.
I was just thinking like in another time or place, he's a Amazon delivery dude.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, now let's go on up.
I don't think they can destroy supply crates, though.
He did. He stomped over it and nothing came out.
You sure?
Yep. You know what that
I've
means?
never seen that.
No, probably because it's like they're programmed not to do that. But that
Must have been
means
bad
that
luck.
yeah, that it's coded that only the player character can unlock shit when it comes out of it. Otherwise, it's just a destructible thing like terrain.
That'd be a terrible way to do it.
Yeah, but this game has a good few flaws. I mean, remember last time we played, we saw that Eldar spinning around like a top in the air. I saw that
I
tonight
don't
too,
see.
as well.
I don't see how this is a flaw.
This is true. I suppose it adds too much whimsy in the grim darkness of the far future.
Whimsy.
We don't need whimsy.
So
Are either
excited for
you
the Final
excited for
Fantasy
the
VII
Final
remake.
Fantasy remake? The answer is yes, and also no, because it'll be a long time before they bring it out to PC.
I'm gonna wait at least 3 weeks before I stream it myself, though, because every big streamer is gonna be streaming it. So small streamers like us won't get any views off of it anyway right now.
Yeah, and
I'm
maybe
gonna wait
different
until
on
the big
Twitch,
streamers
but
finish playing it, and then I'm gonna play it.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, Final Fantasy VII was my favorite.
I did stream the demo, and I was very impressed with it.
I've seen the demo. It looks pretty damn impressive. Um, I am very I'm Final Fantasy VII was always my favorite one, but
I wouldn't say that, but it's in my top list at least.
but it has some flaws anyway that could be hopefully are fixed because you know there's some remakes that don't do a damn thing. They just kind of
Oh yeah,
strap on a new camera and then boom. So
I'm really eager to see all the new content they're going to be adding into the story.
yeah, there has to be tons of side shit. I want to see more stuff from perspective of Shinra or just the world they live in. Maybe even a new
Yeah,
town or two because that world was pretty small by today's standards.
yep. I mean, like, 'cause let's be honest, they're taking what was like a 7 or 8 or maybe a 10 hour chunk of the game and turning it into a 40-hour game.
Yeah, they have to
There's going
stretch
to be
it
a lot of
out.
new stuff.
For example, I want to do more missions with Avalanche before they all die, and
I
maybe
think
even
they're probably
see,
going to do that actually.
um, or hell, even was it more just more characters, like introduce new characters, or introduce characters that were in like the lore, but you never actually got to see in game. You might have
Yeah,
seen in
like
like
I think they got a good opportunity to expand on things with Biggs and Wedge and Jesse.
yeah. I mean, I know. Is it Jesse who wants to ban the living arse off Cloud?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's all kinds of thirsty for Cloud in the demo.
yeah. She's which she was in the game, the original.
Very slightly though.
It was
Not much
implied that she
flesh.
kind of had like this big nerd crush on him. And Cloud
Yeah,
was oblivious as fuck because all his brain goes into keeping his hair spiky.
yeah, pretty much.
I also wonder how they're going to approach the whole cross-dressing prostitute angle.
Oh, I've seen a little clip of that. That is 100% in the game still. In fact, there's
Fantastic.
a giant cutscene with it.
Can you choose different names, including Thunderhead?
Oh, I hope so. Oh shit. Oh, we should probably pull back a little bit. This is a
Yeah,
bad.
the orcs kind of are like smashy, smashy.
This is a bad tactical layout for us right now.
Don't worry, Tarkus will take it in.
There we go.
And grenade. Grenaded. Whee, smack.
Let's get rid of this killer can over here.
And then, of course, there's the driving mechanics. Now, Final Fantasy 15 did a fantastic driving mechanic thing, where like the car was playing an integral part. The vehicles should all play integral parts.
Uh,
Even more so because hell, you've got the high wind, you've got the dune buggy, you've got chocobos,
I
you've
mean, yes,
got
the vehicles should factor in well in later entries to the game, but I'm gonna have to hard disagree with you on Final Fantasy 15 though. The car was shite.
no, it was good for what it was. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like playing GTA or anything. You couldn't even really crash it, but for getting around, and it became its own character. I actually gave a shit when the regalia blew up at the end of it.
It is a beautiful car though.
It's absolutely gorgeous, and I love how you can modify it. I wonder if we're going to get like a sort of sexy, slightly incestuous redneck mechanic in this one.
I hope so.
Yeah. Maybe they'll just bring Cindy back, and there won't be any explanation whatsoever.
That'd be hilarious.
I mean, hell, in Final Fantasy, was it 10x2? They had X2. They had the little kid, and he was Shinra, and it was considered canon that he would go on to form the Shinra Corporation, just making both of those same universes canon.
Wait, sorry, what? Which kid?
In the Final Fantasy X, then you had the sequel that was just a bunch of softcore porn and dance mechanics, and it was like 10x2. Well, on board the ship, there was this little kid in like this suit, and he was like, he looked like a
In number 10
biohazard.
or in 10-2?
10-2.
Okay. I
And
don't remember the kid.
he
Very vaguely.
he was kind of like a mechanic, and he's in like his full bodysuit, and he's called Shinra, and he actually says he's going to found a power company when this is all over, and they've admitted that this is canon, making Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X in the same universe, even though they're in different worlds altogether.
Which doesn't make any damn sense.
None whatsoever.
I feel like they're doing a Zelda thing where the Zelda games decided to tie everything together, even though they're in clearly different worlds, because every single time Hyrule's got a different geography.
Yeah. I wonder if you ever get to play one where you're Ganon. That would be kind of interesting.
But only in the Dynasty Warriors version.
Yeah.
Although, like a traditional Zelda game where you're Ganon would be cool.
And it starts off where you're not evil, but you start like learning stuff, and then you start. It'd be more scripted. It'd be definitely dialogue. You definitely have more
It'd be
dialogue.
like his fall from grace story.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And then of course you have to like prepare for when Link shows up, and then you'll have a huge fight with Link, and Link is overpowered as all hell. And you've got all these like evil forces at your control. Maybe you've corrupted the Triforce or some shit like that. I don't know, like whatever the particular plot for this one is, but it'll just be. But then like Link is still Link, and every time you should be winning, he just like cheeses something.
Actually, I have a better idea. I don't think you should fight him as the boss. Like the final boss should be something else, and I think it should be like you've got this slow corruption throughout the game, but you're not quite corrupt yet. Like your battle against whoever the final boss is still, you still think you're doing the right thing or something, but it sort of like puts the cap on your corruption, and then during the end cutscene you see Link coming for your ass.
What version would it be? I'm thinking like maybe Ocarina of Time or
Yeah,
maybe
that's
yeah.
not a bad idea.
Dragons, boys, it's crushing time. Go, Wazza!
It's a good name.
It is. Orcs need.
Jetpack, bitch.
Orcs need very little to be awesome.
Oh fuck! You got away from the jetpack right before it exploded.
I think he clipped it.
hope so.
I love
Oh, I
when
know that on my screen he was a good 30 feet away from it when it was at half a second left.
it seems to be the smart. God, it's just dying really quick, isn't it? Not like we have to worry too much about Gorwaza. This is why
I know,
you.
right?
This is why you need infantry support in your armor. Has he never played a Hearts of Iron game?
I remember playing this. I think it was a PS3 or PS2 game where you played these giant mechs, but there's also infantry support at their feet, and
Hmm.
that was a major part of the game.
I, there was a good few mech games out. I remember one. It actually was even an arcade machine, and you were in charge of a mech, but you could also be in charge of like an artillery, a tank battalion that would kind of harass the mech. So you had a choice. Like one guy might be playing the main mech, and the other guy would be playing the tanks. And they ported that to the PS1, and I played that. And that was one of those games that you get like those massive controllers, those over the top controllers
Yeah,
schemes, and it comes and it's this whole platform of things with like pedals and levers. They
I
cost like
remember there
five
being
grand.
a mech game like that. Maybe the same one. I don't know, but there was one of those that came with it where they had a an eject button on it as well,
Yeah,
and they had it set up so that if your mech explodes and you don't press the eject button fast enough, it deletes your save file.
nice. So it has a sort of roguelike mechanic going on.
Yeah, but it made sense in canon because if you ejected, then you got to keep playing the game, but you had to buy a new mech.
Oh, so it's
Your
kind of like
your pilot survived,
BattleTech
so you
in
can
that
keep going
respect.
with
Then
the story. But if you didn't, then your pilot died, which means your campaign's over.
yeah, that makes sense.
I forget what they called that one. And that Steel Battalion, maybe.
That
It
does
was one of
sound.
those ones
Yeah, I
that came
think
with the
that might be Steel
custom
Battalion. Yeah, because
came with
I
the custom pad to simulate your cockpit.
I was always kind of respectful for people who would like pay for those massive controller layouts. Like even American Truck and Euro Truck that I play here all the time. You actually are meant to buy their like a custom made controller scheme that it recreates a massive 16-wheeler truck. And I just I could not imagine doing that.
I
Uh,
know, right?
but at the exact same time, it's very, very impressive to see in full motion. They've even done a farming simulator version of that. Oof, that'd be less impressive.
Yeah, I should think so.
I've got a tractor.
All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this flamer away.
Yeah, let's just sort out the XP and then we'll wrap it up.
Um,
Relic sniper rifle. You want to give that to what's his name?
I'm just looking at it now. Uh, I'm getting to using
Ooh,
it anyways, but it's barely any better than what I have now. So I think I'm just gonna chuck it.
level 15, Black Halo. My original Halo was 14 armor rating and 11% range damage resistance. This one is 23 armor rating and cannot be knocked back.
Oh, that's useful.
Yeah. So I'm gonna delete this. Money. Uh, the Unwavering Warrior. One stamina comp discipline. 32% knockback resistance. Damn, I won't be able to be moved if I were to combine the two. The thing is, do I need to combine the two?
I'm thinking about it mostly from the armor rating perspective as well.
39, 40. Yeah, it's up by one. I lose out on one still, but I get my stamina, which of course is your health. So yeah, that works. And I'll also give this strength one to Tarkus. Do you want any of these armor?
Nah.
Now the Fury of Lamartus is a beast.
Well, maybe
45,
I
but
don't
we
know.
can't use it yet.
Maybe hang up. Maybe leave Testament of Hate there for a while. I
Uh,
might switch to it later if I get some other. If I
range
get some
damage,
good
yeah, give that to
accuracy
Avitus.
bonuses from
Yeah.
somewhere else. I
Um,
know
go
I
on.
want to get my accuracy bonus right now, but I want to keep that option open for later, maybe.
Alright, now give the
Also, one level away from Termi honors for Avitus.
nice.
So he'll be
Plus,
ready when we start getting the actual armor.
yeah.
Actually, I think that starts happening after we get the that tech tower thingy, isn't it?
No,
The
we
beacon
get
thing or
Thule
whatever.
in the tech tower. We get the Terminator armor in Meridian.
Is that?
Uh,
Oh, the Angel Forge, right?
that's right. So yeah, I think that wraps us up for another night.
Aye,
It
this
has,
was fun.
it was indeed. We made some good progress.
Oh, and it
So
looks like we got some time limited stuff for next time. Although we got 5 days on it. Oh, this is the
yeah,
day
we're
of
gonna
the
we're gonna have to
massacre.
deal with a slightly more chunkier invasion
We
infestation.
should we
But
should go to Calderis next time because we got the biggest time limit to worry about over there.
yeah, we'll prioritize on that.
I mean, it's 3 days, but
Unless, of course, you want to take out the brood swarm and then hopefully we get one extra thing or defend the ruin. But well, not
I like
brood
the idea
swarm.
of taking out the time limited ones first, just so that there's not a
Yeah,
worry
and this
anymore.
one has 5, but we don't have to worry about that. Okay, save and exit to Windows,
All right.
and before I go, if you want to give yourself, as always, a shill, tell them the good people at home and anyone in the
Shilly
distant
shell.
future what you are doing.
Yeah, actually, it's a good timing for it too, because today I'm starting a playthrough of a new game I've never seen before, other than watching its trailer. I'm gonna be playing a game called Foregone, which looks like it plays a lot like Dead Cells, so that should be interesting. As far as I understand, it plays like Dead Cells, but it's not roguelike, I think.
Okay.
We're going to have to see how that goes. Um, but it looks interesting. We're going to give that a whirl tonight. If I like it, I'll turn it into a full playthrough. Um, if it flops for some reason, then we'll figure something else different for tomorrow. We'll see.
All right. And as for me, tomorrow I got my hands on a new game for free from Epic, Close to the Sun.
Yeah, I installed that too.
I it's something different for this channel. It's not strategy, and it's
It
you know
looks rather pretty. My understanding is that it's mostly a walking simulator, but looks like it's got an interesting story and a
yeah.
really
I don't really do
some
walking
really
simulators
beautiful
as a rule, so
a
might
really
be good.
pretty setting to it. So
It's definitely something interesting. I also thinking of doing the Sherlock Holmes game, but I actually played that years ago and I did not like it. So
mm.
that's not the one with Creepy Watson too, and that's the only reason anyone plays those games.
I still love how what was that game? One of those Lovecraftian games that came out recently. Oh yeah, the Sinking City
Mm.
has a reference to Creepy Watson in it.
Was it like a text box that said like every time I turn around he'd be there, but I never saw
No,
him
no,
move.
it's like a movie or like a movie poster or something in the city. There's one spot in the city where there's a poster of Sherlock looking back over his shoulder nervously with a like really creepy Watson standing behind him.
Nice. Anyway, I am done now. So thank you all so much for watching, and as always, thank you to Krendar for keeping me company this Warhammer Friday night.
My
And
pleasure.
to anyone who watched and has not already done so, please consider liking the video, sharing the video, and subscribing if not already done so. Check the link down below. You'll find stuff to Krendar. You will find stuff to this lovely thing down here in the bottom corner, which is almost ready to go. At the end of the month, I will have this bar completely filled up. But anything you give to us would speed it along to our next goal, our superior goal, which is getting a brand new PC so I can play all the big boy games. And also, you can find our Discord down there and my Instagram. So, with that said, I am going to go now. See you all tomorrow for some walking simulator goodness, I hope. And see you all again soon.